Illegal check to the head is the call. Savoy went straight underneath. And, yeah, Hanley came in with a left forearm and popped Savoy in the head. And as Bob pointed out, Savoy went straight underneath. So now the Edmonton Oilers can answer Calgary's power play goal with one of its own.
And their power play is not cooking right now, Jack.
4 for their last 25, which by Edmonton standards is a bit of a slump. 16% over the last 10 games. Still number 1 in the league at 31% for the year. But McDavid loses a draw, and Kevin Ball wheels it around the boards after Draisaitl was chased out of the circle. So once again, it's Edmonton resetting. You've got the Atco power play unit, the usual suspects, of course, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and Evan Bouchard at the point. McDavid tried to jitterbug his way through a quartet of Calgary defenders. Predictably, it was stolen, and the Flames get a length of the ice clear. This has been a strength for Calgary. They're 6th in the league on the penalty kill, 83%. A big reason why is they've got the second-best save percentage in the league while shorthanded. Draisaitl, nifty move past Sharon Govich. McDavid inside. Draisaitl tried to go back door to Nugent Hopkins. Wasn't there. I thought a shot was available. One-timer McDavid fought off by Cooley. And now did the net come off its moorings? Cooley flew into the post to stop that shot from McDavid and may have dislodged the net. I can't tell why else they would have stopped it. Yes, he did.
He might have a broken skate, Jack.
On the collision with the net. That's what happened. He flung himself to that post, made the save, and in doing so, dislodged not only the net, but his left skate, I believe. So we'll have a pause in the action. 4 minutes gone by. Edmonton still with a healthy 110 on the penalty to Hanley, but now Savoy, you wonder what his status is. So he actually lost that before.
Yeah. Wow.
I thought it was the collision when he flew into the post to stop McDavid.
Almost identical to what happened to Tristan Jarry, Jack, a couple weeks ago.
Correct.
Wow. But not the start Jarry needs here on the penalty kill. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a pretty pedestrian shot. You give the shooter credit, but it's a clean look from from the flank.
Jonathan Huberdeau, a former 115-point man in this league, but to Bob's point, not necessarily known for his goal scoring, more of addition. He had 85 assists that year. He had 115 points playing down in Florida for a high-octane attack that Paul Maurice rechanneled. And, of course, the end result, 2 Stanley Cups. Lead pass, Hyman back behind the defense against Zach Whitecloud. He'll drop it off for McDavid. Whitecloud just joining the Flames in a trade that sent Rasmus Andersson to Vegas. Here's McDavid dishing, poked on net, and a save made by Devin Cooley. A rebound to Bouchard. Peering inside, he'll give it up. McDavid wanders toward the net, circles, waits, moves it up top. Bouchard, left circle, Nugent Hopkins, briefly bobbled by Bouchard. He regains. Nugent Hopkins in front, Hyman, and that was tipped away by Cooley, a 28-year-old undrafted goaltender out of the University of Denver. Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl to the net, scores brilliantly over the right shoulder. Supple hands, tucking it underneath the bar. A magnificent goal from Leon Draisaitl, and we are tied at 1 on the day he was announced as the German flag bearer at the Olympics.
Well, elite level finish from Leon Draisaitl for his 28th goal of the year, and he'd been snake bit of late and had put a lot of shots low to the goal and was getting robbed with pad saves, and that time elevates one short side.
Oh, that was a genius goal. I mean, that's just offensive genius. Just a little flick, and all Cooley could do was try to channel Giorgio Chinalia and head that away, and it didn't happen.
Is that like your first ever soccer reference that I
Yeah, and I'm not sure I pronounced the name right either.
You did all right.
Draisaitl from Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard. That was a fabulous goal. Off the draw, Kuznetsov. And he made it look so routine.
He did.
Dropped in by Zary. Stastny to Szymanski. Here's Nazem Kadri, pulled down in the high slot. Szymanski, who's had assists in his last 2 games. This is 5th NHL affair. Now Uyghur. So the teams trade power play goals, and we are tied at 1. Here's a clear by Calgary. They're going to wave off icing, ruling that Emerson could have caught up to that. He'll send it to Roslovic. The puck at center ice. Edmonton left to right. Roslovic's pass intercepted by Pospisil, who's missed most of the year due to injury, and now centers a 4th line with Lomberg and Klapka. And that's a line that I'm sure Ryan Huska is counting on for a little energy. Lomberg and Klapka certainly provided it back December 27th, but here's a penalty whistled against Calgary. I think it was Lomberg for a slash on the stick. I think it's slashing, and I'm not sure Lomberg can believe the call, but at first glance, that's what I thought it might be as it dislodged the puck, and sure enough, Lomberg will be heading to the box, and the Edmonton power play, brought to you by Atco Energy, which just scored. Your trusted Alberta retailer will be back on the ice when we return to the Saddle Dome. Edmonton won, Calgary won. This is the Battle of Alberta and 4 Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelStorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelStorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Leon Draisaitl just scored his 28th goal. A thing of beauty. A little touch shot over the right shoulder, and just nestling its way underneath the bar and into the back of the net. He'll now take a faceoff against Michael Backlund as Edmonton back on the power play. Lomberg for slashing. And off the draw, it's held in by Bouchard at the point. Down low for Zach Hyman. Here's Draisaitl around the boards to Connor McDavid. Bouchard. McDavid, little give and go with Draisaitl, tried to go far side. Nugent Hopkins left face-off dot taken off his stick. Farabee able to shield him from the puck. And here comes Michael Backlund waving at it and forcing Jari to play the puck. Well, there's 2 ways to get rid of that 4th line, Bob. One, bait them into a penalty. Lomberg just took it. And the other, score against them and take away the trust that Ryan Huska has. Here's Draisaitl and McDavid to the net and pulled it out wide and then tried to bank it off of Devin Cooley. A la Draisaitl, did not pan out, and the Flames get it clear.
Jack, they have picked up something on Cooley. They're trying to get him to move laterally here. I think they can beat him on those type of plays.
Well, they beat him 8 times in April of 2024. Here's McDavid to Draisaitl. Right face-off dot. Atco Energy, power play right now at 55 seconds. Draisaitl, Bouchard, McDavid, a centering play, and that was tapped wide by Hyman. Rebound, midair, blocked by Bouchard, but he played with a high stick. I'll tell you what, Bouchard's hand-eye,
it's unreal.
That was something that for years Edmonton struggled with. They could not find a guy to keep it in reliably at the line. And Bouchard, Bob, I think is as good as anyone in the league.
He's got as good hand-eye coordination as there. He's an unbelievable athlete.
And he's also hard when he has to be at the blue line on the power play. So So we've got 47 seconds left on the penalty to Lomberg. Draisaitl this time says to Connor McDavid, you take the draw. Backlund pulled it free, and Whitecloud will jam it back in. Whitecloud, who was playing about 18 minutes a night in Vegas, is up to over 22 here in Calgary.
And he's been good.
Bouchard put it off the linesman, Trent Orr. Breakaway Backlund, dishes, one-timer, healed off the post by Farabee. Draisaitl on one knee, catches a pass. McDavid the other way, circling, wraparound, save, Cooley. Bouchard with that puck bobbling again, and Farabee able to clear. If Farabee doesn't heal that puck, it's probably in the net. As Backlund with a setup, and Farabee caught it on the heel of his stick, and the knuckle puck caught iron. That'll be all for the Edmonton power play after the clear. Roslovic give and go down the slot, and a backhander that was blocked away by Cooley. And yes, everything's going upstairs right now, blocker side on Devin Cooley. To Bob's point he made earlier, we'll have a face-off in the Calgary zone with the game still tied at 1.
I mean, how you nailed it. I mean, Farabee unlucky. That puck hopped. Backlund's just been a killer against Edmonton. He's got great career numbers. He's been, what's this? Technically his 18th season in Calgary, and he's been really good. You look at his points per game total. McDavid on a wraparound. Cooley got the left pad extended.
That was a good save that Cooley made on McDavid.
Yeah, he almost didn't get it across there. And he's got the big flippers.
Roslovic against Nazem Kadri. Oilers, after Calgary scored on its first shot, have gotten the last 6. And again, often the team that plays the second of a back-to-back has its legs going early. Put Colson off the draw, left wing shot, sent around. Kapanen last night was the best player on the ice for the Oilers. They have been hurt without Kapanen for more than 2/3 of this season. Cleared by the Flames, Kadri, and a reset for Matthias Ekholm. Put Colson over to Wallman. Now Ekholm up the boards, hit the skate of Szymanski. Calgary on the counterattack. Here's Gridden a shot, and that handcuffed Jari a bit. He sent the rebound into the corner, and Ekholm will manage a clear to put Colson. Szymanski down the left-hand side. He's checked by Perek. Thrust around the boards. Held in for the moment by Janmark, but then he got flattened by Huberdeau. Gridden over the line. Huberdeau's with him, and he'll give it to him. The veteran Huberdeau back to Hanley, and he turned it over. Szymanski looking up the middle, instead to Lazar, and then back to Szymanski, left wing. Centering pass, Lazar. Denied. A left pad save made by Devin Cooley with 10:32 to go in this first period of the game, tied at 1.
Szymanski has good instincts. Like, he's at the end of his shift here, but he has the presence of mind. Get it in front. Lazar drives the lane, beat his man inside positioning, and Cooley fought it off.
So the Oilers will send out Nugent Hopkins with Mangiapane, of course, the ex-Flame, had that fabulous year, 35 goals in 2019. And Roslovic, Stastny and Emberson defensively, face off to the right of the Calgary goal. Kevin Ball playing a ton for the Flames since Anderson moved on. Held in by Stastny around the boards. And now you've got Emberson leaving it in the slot for Nugent Hopkins. Sent down low, Kevin Ball. Emberson with a puck in the high slot for Edmonton. Stastny centering pass, and Mangiapane rung the bar. So one crossbar deserves another. Farabee at one end, Mangiapane the other, and he anchored himself in the slot. He had a good first period last night. Had a turnover on a goal against, and really didn't see much ice time after that. Emberson up to Matt Savoy, who's okay. He was back on the bench a moment ago after that hit from Hanley. Check to the head. He was checked, and he checks out okay. Jan Kuznetsov, rookie D-man, 3 years down on the farm. Up the gut, you've got Coronado. Tried to drop it off for Sharon Govich. A good read by Savoy. He picks it off, and now Draisaitl head to Kapanen against Kuznetsov. A backhander and a save made by Devin Cooley, who, had he played enough, I've talked about his one rough start against Edmonton 2 years ago as a Shark. But coming in, if he qualified, and he hasn't played much, this is just his 16th start, he'd rank number 1 in the league in save percentage and number 2 in goals against. So he's been sharp. Draisaitl beat him on the power play. Huberdeau earlier beat Jarry. And through 10.5 minutes in the final Battle of Alberta this season, we are tied at 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Zach from EPCOR here. When winter rolls in, my family's outside skating, tobogganing, and enjoying the season. But stormwater ponds aren't the place. These ponds protect our neighborhoods from flooding year-round. Even in winter, the water keeps moving under the surface, making the ice unpredictable and unsafe. Edmonton has safe spots to skate and sled, like my favorite, the Rundle Park Iceway and Toboggan Hills. Stay back, stay off, stay safe. A note from your neighbors at EPCOR.
Alberta, it's time to be mighty. The Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery is back. Get in to win the $2.5 million grand prize. An extraordinary luxury Riverview show home in Keswick plus $100,000 cash. That's not all you can win. The Oilers Power Play and $75,000 VIP prize. The Porsche Cayenne bonus prize. And the BMW in Barcelona early bird prize. Every ticket has the power to change lives. Be mighty. Support Stollery Kids. Get your tickets now at MightyMillionsLottery.com.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Leon Draisaitl set for an offensive zone faceoff. Oilers have outshot the Flames 8-2 in the early going. They've swapped power play goals, and Draisaitl off the draw now pursues in the corner against Kuznetsov. Lays it ahead. Kadri had Zari open. Didn't see him. Kadri cuts left and shot off the stick of Wallman, and that sailed high, came off the plexi. And Wallman will try to muscle it ahead for Leon Draisaitl, who scored a... finesse doesn't do it justice. The goal that he scored on Cooley earlier.
Elite level finish.
Oh, just a gorgeous little flip over the right shoulder of Devin Cooley. This is an icing call against Calgary. 8:48 to go in the first period. That answers Huberdeau. And overall, Bob, again, we've seen this sometimes, and we certainly saw it on the homestand, where teams on the second of a back-to-back often have the legs going early. Yeah. I don't mind this start from Edmonton.
No, it's been a good start. You just would like to get one more goal. Great shot from Ajamani to beat Cooley, but hit the crossbar.
Flames have also hit a bar tonight. Kadri, after that icing call, will take a face-off against McDavid. Out there with Podkolzin and Hyman, as again, Chris Knobloch, as we suspected last night, has gotten the blunder out. Here's Farabee behind the defense and denied by Jarry on a partial breakaway. He slipped through Ekholm and Bouchard, and that time Tristan Jarry bailed him out.
Jack, it looks like the puck is bouncing.
No question. McDavid in from the right-hand side. Well, we saw that on the Farabee one-timer on a relatively short pass from Backlund. But yeah, it's hopping, of course. This the next to last year at the Saddle Dome. Here's McDavid. Moving it for Evan Bouchard. A shot from distance, and that was redirected. Next year will be the last year you can watch me gingerly go across the catwalk.
Still
Here's McDavid.
You haven't fallen yet.
Back to Bouchard. McDavid, little spin move on Backlund, trying to center and ball with a nice denial, and Backlund swings it up the right-hand side. That catwalk became famous the other day. The Athletic did an article on it as the Flames take another icing call. 7:47 to go in the first period. And what Bob and I are referring to is the old-school gondola suspended above the ice, and when you walk to our broadcast location, you walk right over the scoreboard on a piece of plywood that certainly looks like it was here since Alberto Tomba was here in 1988 for the Olympic Winter Games.
Wow, that's...
You like that poll, didn't you?
Oh.
Draisaitl with a face-off win.
He had a good run that year.
Here's Nugent Hopkins. On the slalom or away from the slalom? Here's Draisaitl for Nugent Hopkins. Checked by by Zach Whitecloud around the boards, and then Woolman. Draisaitl, a blind pass that's picked off by Coronado. Crisscrossing across the line, shoots on net, and a left pad save made by Tristan Jarry. The rebound spooned back to center by Nurse. Uyghur, Kuznetsov, left-hand side, Frost. Dangling, dishing off, Gridden. Uyghur, Gridden, a shot. That pinballed around. Roslovic had it. Got it to Nurse. And now, though trapped, he'll send it over to Woolman. Nurse takes a gander up ice. Thinks better of it. And now Roslovic, the puck carrier. From center ice, he'll shoot it in. Bounded off the dasher board, and I think that caught the netting behind Devin Cooley. Whistled down with 6:44 to go in the first period, and the game tied at 1. Again, Huberdeau and Draisaitl have exchanged power play goals. An Edmonton win, Bob, doesn't matter what happens. The Oilers, at the very least, will have a share of first place in the Pacific Division, and then have that mini camp coming out of the break.
Going to be intrigued to see how, I mean, obviously, McDavid, Draisaitl, Szymanski won't be here. Adam Henrique is going to need to get activated. Edmonton's going to need to get creative because they're currently in the LTIR right now. Look how
Szymanski tried to move it up the right-hand side. So you've obviously got Canada going at least to the Final Four.
Well, that's fair. Fair question.
Here's Klapka. Drag move, dishing off. And you don't have Germany getting there. Or do you?
Will Canada end up in Germany at some point?
There's Pospisil.
Germany's your team.
Germany is my upset special. I believe Germany will upset one of the top 4 in the quarterfinals. Emerson wrapped up in the corner by Klapka. Lomberg, Klapka, Pospisil keeping the puck in the offensive zone for Calgary. Perek, a weak shot that's redirected wide. And now we've got another trip whistled against Edmonton. Another stick infraction. And Bob, that's starting to become habitual.
Yeah.
Stastny to the box here at 14:10 of the first period. With the Oilers and the Flames in a 1-1 tie, Edmonton has had 2 power plays, and now Calgary will be awarded its second opportunity with the man advantage. We'll do that when we come back at the Saddle Dome. Final battle of Alberta this season. 4th of 4, and we're tied at 1. The Oilers Radio Network.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Edmonton knows great teams. For over 60 years, Chemco has helped build Canadian industry and invest in communities nationwide. Employee-owned and operated, and with over 2,500 skilled tradespeople, Chemco delivers complete solutions as one partner with many strengths. From engineering to construction, commissioning to maintenance, safely and on schedule coast to coast. Chemco cares, and a commitment to quality, safety, and community drives lasting impact nationally and locally. Learn more at chemco.com. Chemco, building industry, building Canada.
As the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers, MIC ensures precision in every shot. And if you need medical imaging attention, you can count on MIC to get you back in the game. Whether it's a classic wrist shot, that is, X-ray, soft tissue scan, or advanced imaging, MIC provides timely and expert diagnosis. So go where the pros go and book an appointment at any of their 15 convenient Edmonton and area locations. Learn more at mic.ca. All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Yeah.
Back in the Saddle Dome, game tied at 1. Calgary on the power play. Lazar on the Napa Auto Parts kill will take the first face-off. Kadri's chased out of there, and it'll be Matt Coronado, who leads this team with 6 power play goals. It was Huberdeau who scored the power play goal on their first crack at it, and off the draw, Bouchard wisely locates the left half boards and angled one up and out. Uyghur Uyghur. Back pass. Boy, McDavid was lurking. That was dangerous. Kadri gives it up for Coronado. I'm not sure Uyghur wants to do that again. Slammed off the right-hand boards and out by Evan Bouchard, and the Flames sputtering a bit in the first 30 seconds on the penalty to Stastny for a trip. Lead pass, Grid stuck behind Wallman. Shoots and scores. Blocker side again, off the rush, and Calgary regains the lead 2-1. Matvei Gridin, the rookie, with his third goal in this, his 13th NHL game.
And he's got 2 of them against the Edmonton Oilers. Scored in the first game of the year for the Flames.
Part of their 3-0 rally. They ended up winning that game 4-3 in a shootout. Kadri, I believe, in the 8th round. This one, a stretch play, and just whipped it by the blocker of Tristan Jarry.
And he can shoot the puck, but again, Jarry, I mean, that's beats him high to the blocker side on the short side. Wallman will tell you that he got caught up ice there. It's different than the goal where they hit the stretch through the middle. That's a long stretch down Wallman's side. And that's not a great goal against the defensive. The Oilers' penalty goal is just unmitigated disaster right now.
Ekholm sends it in. Here's McDavid. Shovels back to the point. Uyghur was the man who made the pass. And Devin Cooley will end up getting an assist out of that. Flames can't get it out of the zone. Bouchard tried to go to Draisaitl, who then had it stripped and cleared by Coronado. Sharon Govich out-battled by Bouchard. Lead pass, a little bit too far for Draisaitl, taken by Zach Whitecloud, who, remember, spent 7 years in Vegas, won a cup. Backlund to Sharon Govich. Wrist shot into the glove of Tristan. And the Oilers now have given up 10 in their last 6 outings.
Well, I mean, it's just awful right now. I mean, 4 for 4 opposition teams in the power play the last 2 games. That ain't going to cut it. And Minnesota went 2 of 3. I don't think I can ever recall an Oilers penalty kill this bad. They've been scored on 6 of the last 7 times they've been shorthanded, Jack. And that is unacceptable.
Well, and again, they were 10th in the league as recently as 8 days ago. And they're 24th and plummeting. Off the draw.
You also need a save.
Uyghur, wrist shot, and that over the right shoulder of Jarry. We got another penalty coming against Edmonton. Here's Klapka's shot redirected by Lomberg in front, taken by Emerson, and it's another stick infraction for tripping. And we talked about it with Janmark's high stick last night.
They look tired.
And we've seen 3 stick infractions already. This one, Nugent Hopkins in Calgary, who came in 30th in the league on the power play, now will look to make it 3 for 3 in the first period of this hockey game. Just right off the draw, Klapka dumped to the ice by Nugent Hopkins. Lazar against Kadri. I mean, this is not a challenging back-to-back, Bob. They played.
But you also got to get some stops.
Uyghur dropping it off for Matt Coronado. Huberdeau off the boards. Coronado centering pass intercepted by Bouchard, looking for Savoy. He's got him with McDavid shorthanded, 2-on-2. A pass tipped and then blockered out of play by Cooley. That centering pass from Savoy to McDavid was tipped, and as it floated skyward, Cooley blockered it right out of play. Uyghur, I think that might have gone in, and it caught the top of the net.
Yeah, Savoy almost ended up getting his 10th goal of the year there.
Yeah, that went over. I thought Cooley at live speed got it with a blocker, but it actually hit, I believe, the top of the net, the white bar behind the crossbar. Either that or it hit the bar. In any event, end result is Oilers short-handed will get a draw to the left of Devin Cooley, who is, you talked about the key to the game being Jarry at 900 or better. Cooley, in 12 of his 15 starts, has been 900 or better. He's lost 3 in a row, Bob, but the Flames have scored 3 goals in those games. I get the sense you don't like either of the goals against.
.714 save percentage to start this. No, I don't like either goal. I mean, I'll give Gridden credit. That's a good shot, and it's a partial break. The Huberdeau one for me was ugly.
He did make a save on a breakaway in between. Sharon Govich off the draw will dump it in. On a play, quite frankly, that Ekholm and Bouchard went to sleep on. Another kind of mental error as much as anything. Here's Zarek. Left circle for the fly. Emerson and Perek will dash back and pick it up. That's a big save.
That was a good stop.
Perek, who led the Ontario League in goal call, 3:11 to go, first period. Game sitting at 2-1 for Calgary. And once again, and this was the case the last time the Oilers were in this building, Bob, Edmonton's playing chase.
Yeah.
Savoy, McDavid back out there on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Bouchard and Ekholm.
Calgary scored the first goal. Edmonton got 8 of the 9 next shots and some great looks. Scored one to tie it. And some big stops from Cooley.
Sent in deep. Edmonton also hit a bar in tight. Coronado flicked aside by Jari. Rebound up top. High slot Uyghur. Gives it up. Sent to Coronado by Kadri. Now Uyghur steps in. Dishes off. Huberdeau. Drag move. And a blocker save made by Tristan Jari. Rebound Huberdeau. Unable to keep it in.
Jari did a great job there. Came out, cut down the angle.
20 seconds left on the man advantage. Kadri. Little saucer back. Uyghur trading the puck up top with Gridden. Uyghur peering inside. Huberdeau. One-timer Coronado, and Jari got a piece of that. Rebound Gridden with McDavid on him. Sent down low. Kadri tried to go cross ice with it. Broken up. Edmonton back at full strength. 5-on-5 with 2 1/4 to play in this first period. McDavid dangling his way through center and had it popped off a stick by Pospisil. Off the turnover, Klapka. Pocket pick by Nugent Hopkins. Fresh out of the box. And now Wallman, pursued by Lomberg, will give it up for Darnell Nurse. And Edmonton has time to reset. Wallman on to Hyman. He'll chip it in deep. Hyman getting a look with Mangiapane and Draisaitl. The pass comes into Draisaitl off the skate. Hyman retrieving in the left circle. Draisaitl sitting as a sidecar behind the net. White Cloud digs it out for Calgary. Seconds to go in the first period. 2-1 in favor of Calgary. Klapka won a battle against Wallman. He'll give it up for Lomberg. Lomberg scored in the last game between these two teams. Kadri clipped the net and fell down, and that negated some of the forecheck effectiveness for the Flames. They'll back off. Nurse in no hurry, awaits a full change as Szymanski, Nugent Hopkins, and Roslovic come on. Pass up to Wallman at center ice. He'll bump it in with a minute to go. Uyghur, an attempted clear, stolen away by Nugent Hopkins. He keeps it in a second time for Emerson. And now Nugent Hopkins, a shot redirected by Szymanski, and a save made by Cooley. That was a tricky save made by Devin Cooley. Sneaky good. Roslovic, beautiful look. Stastny a shot. That was blocked. Rebound. Uyghur after blocking the shot up to Kadri, and now Joel Farabee, who was stopped on a breakaway earlier by Jari. Now a chance for White Cloud. Down the slot, hit his own man, who was prone on the ice. Ricochet to Farabee. Tried to tuck it in for Kadri. Kadri staying with it. Kevin Ball. One-timer ripped wide by White Cloud. That'll clatter off the corner boards and perhaps bring an end to the period. McDavid trying to make things tough on Calgary, and a giveaway. Here's McDavid in the slot. A shot blockered away. Inexplicable turnover from Sharon Govich, but Cooley bails him out by stopping McDavid in the slot. And I think both teams won't necessarily be pleased with some of the mental mistakes we saw out there. And Oldo and Draisaitl in the first 5 minutes, and then Gridden with about 5 minutes left before the end of the period, blowing one past Jari, blocker side off the rush on a partial break when Wallman got caught napping. And I think both teams look like this very much the last game before the big break.
I think Cooley's sharp. I mean, it took an exquisite finish from Leon Draisaitl to beat him. He made some other big saves.
Mangiapane hit a crossbar on him.
But conversely, you look at the first goal against that Jari gave up. That one, for me, you got to find. But Edmonton, this is far from ideal here in the first period. They're going to have to elevate the level of their performance, Jackie.
Well, and again, Calgary's the underdog here, so you'd love to put them in a hole. They're not a deep team offensively. As you pointed out, they're dead last in the league offensively. And now you look at the last, couple games in this building, and both times Calgary has found itself with a 2-1 lead. They hung on for a 3-2 victory back in December. And And, you know, the Oilers have 40 minutes to live, but coming from behind, not ideal. What did you think of the revamped lineup? We saw a lot of power plays, so I'm not sure there was any rhythm 5-on-5.
There's no rhythm 5-on-5. I think it's impossible to judge what we saw in the first period.
Yeah, half the period.
It's too early.
Yeah, five power plays.
I know this. The Edmonton Oilers are in a stretch over the last 3 games where their penalty killing's at 25%. They've only killed off 6 out of 8 shorthanded situations. Number one, who do you need to have as your best penalty killer?
Your goaltender.
Traditionally, your goaltender. But you've also, they're leaking chances here. And they went from a top-down PK unit the last couple of years. There was only 3 teams last year that ran it. Edmonton could run it. They were really good.
What do you mean by top-down?
It's what they do is they allow the forwards to chase and try to create turnovers from top down to as opposed to a more passive PK. The problem when you're running a hybrid, Edmonton's kind of running a hybrid, but they're more passive, is eventually good teams, they just figure out a way to beat you with that, right? And that's conversely, you look at the Oilers, who are the best teams against Edmonton on the PK? Teams that are aggressive on the penalty kill against Edmonton.
And they try to pick McDavid off before he's in the offensive zone. That's
another thing on the zone entries, but in the actual zone. Yeah. But you take a look at what Edmonton had 2 years ago in the playoffs. They had Ryan McLeod. They had Warren Fogle as a pairing. They had Connor Brown, and they had Matthias Janmark as a pairing, and then they had Nugent Hopkins and Henrique. How many of those guys do they have right now?
Well, obviously, a couple are no longer on the roster. Henrique's hurt.
And they switched the penalty kill. Currently, there's not one team in the league running a top-down penalty killing unit. Had an extensive conversation today with a couple of people about it.
And yet, 8 days ago, they were top 10 in the league.
Well, they're not top 10 anymore, and it's blanking killing them right now, Jack. I mean, it's pretty much cost them, like...
Well, this is the first time in 7 years that the Oilers enter a game having given up 30 goals in the previous 6 games. And I hate to tell you, but you know what happened 7 years ago. That was the last time
they missed the playoffs.
The Oilers missed the playoffs.
The Oilers are lucky they're in the Pacific Division. We remind the listeners that the Calgary Flames last year finished with 96 points, 2 points behind the Florida Panthers who won the Stanley Cup, 5 points more than the Montreal Canadiens who made the playoffs.
And 96 points this year.
Does anybody
on a regular basis?
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, if they get 96 points, they might win the Pacific Division.
I think 96 points may win the division at this rate. Right now, the Pacific Division is, I believe, .52 lower in terms of points percentage than any other division.
Well, I mean, you have a team like Vegas that's a good team.
And Edmonton is feasted on the Pacific. That's the other thing. You've got to keep that
in a lot of games late in the year, and the only reason it was not quite as pronounced last year is they didn't have both McDavid and Draisaitl in the lineup together
for the last 15.
All right, they got some work to do.
Pacific Division matchup, and more importantly, Battle of Alberta tonight. And right now, it's 2-1 for the Flames. Edmonton has some digging to do over the last 40 minutes. Straight ahead, we've got Brendan Escott and Rob Brown.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Hey, OilCountry. Hey, Canada. Thank you so much for voting me as the flag bearer for Team Germany at the Olympics. Such an incredible honor. I feel so proud and lucky I get to do that, and that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you very much. And Hey, OilCountry. Hey, Canada. Thank you so much for voting me as the flag bearer for Team Germany at the Olympics. Such an incredible honor. I feel so proud and lucky I get to do that, and that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you very much, and looking forward to Italy. Hey, OilCountry.
Ich überbringen kann, dass du die Wahl zum Fahnenträger gewonnen hast und das sowohl beim öffentlichen Voting als auch beim Voting deines Olympiateams. Herzlichen Glückwunsch dazu.
Dankeschön, vielen Dank. Ja, ich weiß gar nicht so wirklich, was ich gerade sagen soll. Ja, bedeutet mir wirklich unfassbar viel. Ich fühle mich total geehrt. Ja, Dankeschön. Also mehr kann ich jetzt gerade leider auch nicht sagen.
Wir freuen uns auch sehr, insbesondere weil wir dann mit dir auch jemanden haben, der in Mailand im Hauptstadion einlaufen wird. Da gehört ja die deutsche Fahne auch hin.
Ja.
Ich verrate noch nicht, wer deine Partnerin sein wird.
Okay.
Eine kleine Überraschung muss es für dich
Ja. Ich kann es kaum erwarten, wirklich. Also ich freue mich schon seit Monaten wie ein kleines Kind drauf und rückt jetzt immer näher und das ist natürlich jetzt das i-Tüpfelchen für mich. Also vielen Dank nochmal, es bedeutet mir wirklich unfassbar viel.
Und dann freuen wir uns, wenn du angekommen bist. Ich mich auch, dich dann hier persönlich vor Ort begrüßen zu können.
Sehr, sehr stolz drauf, es ist mir eine Riesenehre, wirklich. Ich freue mich total, euch alle in Mailand dann zu sehen.
Wir schütteln die Hand, wenn du da bist. Ich freue mich, wenn es dann soweit ist.
So machen wir es. Top. Vielen Dank. Danke nochmal. Ciao, ciao.
Bis dann. Ciao, ciao.
Breakaway. You don't. How often do you see a breakaway like that when you're on the power play? So those type of mistakes are so big. And then there was another breakaway, both Ekholm and Bouchard in the neutral zone. The puck kind of bouncing a little casual, and I believe it was Farabee had a breakaway and a big save by Jari. So Jari gives up 2 goals, and he saved 2 2-on-1s and a breakaway in that period. So too many grade A looks being given up by the Oilers again tonight. And again, Calgary doesn't score goals. That's not a strength of their team. They've gotten rid of some players, and they're starting a retool rebuild. But the Oilers made it easy tonight in the first period by giving the Calgary Flames grade A looks. The Oilers are on the power play. Bouchard, casual pass back, hits the ref, but the ref was standing there. The ref didn't move, or the linesman didn't move. He was there the whole time. Casual pass. McDavid comes up. He gets beaten out. It's a 2-on-1 or 2-on-0, really, and a nice save. So 2 breakaways, 2 2-on-1s, and a 2-on-0 in the first 20 minutes of the game. And fortunately, the Oilers are only down 1.
Yeah, pretty hard to believe. Just a quick thought here on some adjustments to be made for that second period. Stay out of the box is, first of all, what leaps to mind. 3 tripping penalties in the opening frame, inexcusable.
And easy tripping calls to see. It was obvious. Yeah. It was, there's one stick, one player, and you're tripping, you're taking his feet out. You can't do that. And that's what we saw. I think Chris Knobloch talked about it. And again, I'm getting confused in the games. The last game, the game before, where the Oilers took 3 penalties in the first period. And Knobloch talked about it at the end. You do not get in any rhythm. So in that first period, I believe there was 5 power plays. That's 10 minutes worth of ice time that is gone. So your third and fourth lines are getting no ice time. You have these new lineups that Bob and Jack just talked about. New lines going tonight. You don't get to see them. You get no rhythm at all. So easy calls for the referees. The Oilers can't take those kind of penalties in a hockey game when you're trying to, stop from going into a 3-game losing streak.
Which the Oilers will try to do by the night's end. We are at the intermission right now after 20 minutes of play. It's 2-1 Flames. This is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Alberta, it's time to be mighty. The Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery is back. Get in to win the $2.5 million grand prize. An extraordinary luxury Riverview show home in Keswick plus $100,000 cash. That's not all you can win. The Oilers Power Play and $75,000 VIP prize. The Porsche Cayenne bonus prize. And the BMW in Barcelona early bird prize. Every ticket has the power to change lives. Be mighty. Support Stollery Kids. Get your tickets now at MightyMillionsLottery.com.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage.
You want to go?
Counseling services.
Let's go!
Dental coverage.
That was not offside.
And eye exams. With Custom health coverage for any group of any size. Bloom benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
Switching energy plans? You deserve a break. From admin fees, that is. New ACO Energy customers can go admin fee-free for 6 months on a fixed plan. Lock in stable rates with ACO Energy and save up to $130 when you bundle 2 fuels. Switching is quick and easy. Visit ACOenergy.com to sign up in minutes. Conditions apply. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822, toll-free in Alberta.
This is Global News at the first intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. Edmonton's 2025 election led to a new mayor and 4 new councillors, along with new problems with lines, and council wants a solution. This morning, the city's audit committee heard multiple reports from Edmonton elections and city auditors on the difficulties of the election. City auditors made just one suggestion: more comprehensive training for election workers. An action plan will be created at a later date for the 2029 election. A 35-year-old Calgary man has been sentenced to 16 years in prison after joining and then participating in a terrorist group. In her decision, Justice Corina Dario says that she has found no evidence Jamal Borhat's views have changed since he returned to Calgary from Syria in 2014. Ottawa is cutting the cord on its electric vehicle sales mandate and instead reviewing consumer rebates. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to announce the details tomorrow as part of a national automotive strategy. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be at the second intermission on 880 CHED.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
It's game on at City Ford.
With an all-star lineup of 2025 Ford favorites, save up to $7,000 on Escapes.
Up to $8,000 on Bronco Sports.
And up to $18,000 on F-150s.
Plus, find 0% financing options available on all 3 vehicles.
Score an all-star deal today and spin and win an iPad, Oilers merch, Costco card, even a trip to Mexico.
Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so, because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates, always. Gimmicks, never. Perks that reward your loyalty, and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by Emcor, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
It's time for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Of course, here in, or down there in Calgary, it's 2-1 for the Flames. But elsewhere, the Avalanche up 2-0 on the Sharks. Mammoth 2-0 over the Red Wings at the second intermission. And halfway through the game, it is 3-2 Stars over the Blues. Canucks and Golden Knights are scoreless, while the Kraken lead the Kings 3-1 at the intermission. A few finals as well. The Panthers beat the Bruins in a shootout. Brad Marchand with the winner there. Blue Jackets blanked the Blackhawks 4-0. Canadians beat Winnipeg 5-1, and the Wild over the Predators 6-5 in overtime there. A hat trick for Matt Boldy. A few more points for Quinn Hughes. He keeps tearing it up. And down on the farm, I say the farm, I mean the Edmonton Oil Kings. 3-1 is the score against Medicine Hat in Medicine Hat. 14 minutes and change left in regulation there. That's the out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73. Let's get you back to the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. Jack and Bob with second period action. We're at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Unbelievable! Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar.
Even catch boosh bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
40 years strong in Western Canada, Pizza 73 has been serving up the pizza you crave. From their famous pan pizzas and golden crispy wings to bold new creations like stuffed crust and the all-new volcano pizza, they keep bringing the flavor. Born in OilCountry, made in OilCountry, they're proud to be serving Edmonton since 1985. Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Order now at pizza73.com.
It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
Stay connected with 880 CHED via your smart speakers. It's as easy as telling your favorite virtual assistant, play 880 CHED. Listen in on smart speakers and stay informed throughout the day with up-to-the-minute news, talk, sports, and more. 880 CHED. Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Shots 10 aside, the Edmonton Oilers find themselves trailing 2-1 in Calgary, looking to avoid seeing the Flames capture the season series for, what would that be, the first time since, I believe, 2018-19. You got to go back to the last time they won the season series. They split in 21-22, and then, of course, after spotting the Flames a 9-6 victory in Game 1, the Oilers won the next 4. And that was part of that 7-game winning streak of the Saddle Dome that came to an end in December. And similar to that, Bob, Edmonton trailing, entering period 2-1.
Part of the problem for Edmonton, Jack, is they lost their secret weapon, Jacob Markstrom.
Nugent Hopkins shovels it in deep. Devin Cooley out to play it for Calgary. 5 years in the minors, and he was in the ECHL for a year and a half. Uyghur shoots wide. Some eyebrows were raised when Cooley was entrusted with being the certifiable number 2. He's never spent a full year in the NHL. That action in San Jose at the tail end of the season 2 years ago was the only NHL action he had seen. Had a good year last year at the American Hockey League level for the Calgary Wranglers. That's the team that plays out of here in the AHL. The Flames thought that was enough with Dustin Wolf coming off a tremendous season. Huberdeau tied up in the corner of his own zone. Knocked down by Podkolzin at center and rifled in by Nurse. Around the boards, beautiful spin move. McDavid beats Kuznetsov and then stopped by Cooley. The rebound nudged wide. McDavid to Bouchard, slap shot. And that bit Kuznetsov. No stick for Cooley. Wrist shot blocked. Hyman. Rebound. McDavid. Bouchard walking the line. Tremendous pressure as Edmonton searching for the equalizer. McDavid knocked down, stayed with it, and then the Flames could not send Kadri loose on a breakaway. Bouchard carries it back in. Cooley's got a stick back. McDavid over to Ekholm. Boy, that was dangerous. The Flames almost had a 2-on-0 going the other way. Ekholm, left circle, spinning, but instead it's Calgary once again on its heels. McDavid, Podkolzin. McDavid on the goal line, centered through the wickets of Hyman. Served up to Bouchard by Ekholm. McDavid took his eye off it in the right circle. Kuznetsov stapled against the boards this time. He's able to win a battle, chip it ahead, and now Kadri busts out maybe a 3-on-1. Kadri left circle. He'll shoot it, and a stop made by Tristan Jarry. Rebound swept out. Hyman one-on-one against Kevin Ball, who won that battle. White Cloud drops it off. McDavid was changing, so it's Backlund dashing up the left-hand side. Coronado across to Sharangovich, and he got caught between shot and pass. The puck ended up wildly clattering off the corner boards. Now Sharangovich, a one-time 30-goal scorer in this league. Here's a whiff by Backlund, then a centering pass, eventually corralled by Sharangovich. Back to Backlund, left corner. He'll drop it down low to Coronado, who's bothered by Emberson. Draisaitl poised, will just drop it off for Stastny. Draisaitl, the only goal tonight for Edmonton. All three on the power play. Calgary with 2, Edmonton 1. Savoy to Draisaitl, 5-on-5. Beautiful look. Kapanen shoots wide. Just hooked that shot wide. The rebound cleared by Backlund. They'll wave off icing.
What a chance for Kapanen. Great pass in the backhand from Leon.
3 minutes gone by in the second period. He's supplanted Sidney Crosby as the most dangerous player in the league on his backhand. Pospisil will dump it in. Klapka pursuing. Now Lomberg from the corner tried to center, and Draisaitl was there to make the steal. And he'll drop it back to Wallman for a reload. Stretch play up, poked in by Savoy. Cooley got caught deciding whether to play it or not. Savoy tried to pump it into the middle for Roslovic. Instead, Joel Hanley will clear without further incident for the Flames. Nurse and Stastny trade the puck back in their own end. Edmonton in the white uniforms attacking right to left in the second period. Lazar wanted a slash, didn't get it called. Here's Stastny stepping up, wide open left circle. Tried to go cross ice, and Lazar just got a new stick, and it went off the heel of it.
Stastny's got to shoot the puck when he's got chances, Jack.
Emberson had it knocked away. Poked into the corner by Jari, and now it's Stastny once again with the puck. He'll send it ahead. Kevin Ball pursuing against Matthias Janmark. Ball sealed him off, and now Zach Whitecloud busts out for the Flames. Up the left-hand side, too far for Farabee. He might have gotten away with a trip on Evan Bouchard. I thought he tripped him with his skates.
Bouchard's giving it to the ref here.
Nugent Hopkins chipped it ahead. Just Mitch Mangiapane streaking back with Kuznetsov. Mangiapane run off the puck by Kuznetsov, and now Backlund, after a moment, hands it for Zach Whitecloud. Up the middle, tipped in, settled by Jari. Swings it ahead for Nugent Hopkins. Mangiapane and Roslovic. Roslovic gives it back. Mangiapane shoots wide. Rebound off the corner boards, held in, albeit momentarily by Ekholm, and then a good keep by Roslovic, forcing the Flames to regroup. Kuznetsov up the middle. Good pass to Coronado. Maybe another 3-on-1. Backlund, left circle, drag move, shoots high and wide off the glass. Both teams are making a lot of mental mistakes. Here's McDavid ahead for Nurse against Ball. Centering pass, and Wallman was tied up the puck for a moment, just sitting there.
It's the old
as a tease.
2-on-2 rush with the 2 defensemen rushing for Edmonton.
Godry. He'll hand off to Kevin Ball, and for the moment, action slows. Here's Kadri, centering pass. Sorry, wrap around, and Nurse saved a goal. By the time Zari got it back on the rebound, he could only flick it wide from a sharp angle, and here comes McDavid. Down the right-hand side, cross-seamer to Podkolzin, tipped. Shot from the point, redirected into the glove of goaltender Devin Cooley, and he'll freeze it with exactly 6 minutes having elapsed in this second period. 2-1 Flames.
Oilers got to put more pucks to the net, Jack. You had a situation where Spencer Stastny's sitting on the left side wall. He's got a screen in front. He forces a pass through the seam. It's a hard pass to pick up. If he just puts the pillow on the pads, might get a rebound.
What about the 2 3-on-1s they've given up here in the last 90 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, there's breakdowns on both sides all over the ice.
This is a team that is not playing with an immense amount of mojo right now. How's that? I don't want to say confidence. I think there's confidence in some of their abilities, but
Frost moved out. Replaced by Gridden against Draisaitl to the circle right of Devin Cooley. Draisaitl wins the face-off easily. Emberson to Kapanen, snapshot and a save. Cooley this time with no rebound. We'll take a break. 13:55 to play second period. Flames have maintained a 2-1 lead. Chances at both ends. We're far from finished in this one. With 34 minutes to go in the final Battle of Alberta this season. It's Calgary 2, Edmonton 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier, like available Pro Power onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
In OilCountry, winning on the ice goes hand in hand with winning off the ice. With the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50 presented by Rogers, winning can mean both a life changed and a life saved. Because every ticket purchase helps more kids, more families, and more communities in need than ever before. And with the largest jackpots in all of sports, you could become Alberta's next millionaire. Get your tickets right now at EdmontonOilers.com. Because when you play, all of OilCountry wins.
AGLC license number 744517.
At Brandt, our job description is whatever you need to succeed. Expert support, parts when you need them, and financing that fits on the compact construction machines you want. Equipment, expertise, value, delivered right to your door. We do it right at your site. Call your Brandt dealer to book your demo today.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
13:55 left, second period. 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Calgary Flames. Another ozone draw for Leon Draisaitl. This one to the left of Cooley. And this one against Morgan Frost. And he won the faceoff again. There's set up by Savoy. Wollman tried to play it down low. Uyghur cut it off. No cycle established in Huberdeau. The outlet to Frost. Grid in a shot. That was deflected. Frost checked and erased by Wollman. Uyghur, his shot was blocked. This line was Calgary's most effective against Toronto the other night in a 4-2 loss. The Flames come in having dropped 6 of 7, the only win in that stretch against San Jose. Draisaitl to Darnell Nurse. His shot gloved by Cooley, and the play dies right there. Another ozone draw coming for Edmonton. Dustin Wolf won that game against San Jose, but having won just 2 of his last 10, they decided to go with Cooley in net for the first time. Wolf had started the other 3 battles of Alberta.
And you mentioned that Cooley's been with the Flames organization since the 2024 offseason. And the Edmonton Oilers had interest in Devin Cooley at that time. Just despite getting more
8 goals against.
Yep.
The California kid, well, he's toiled in the minors for a number of years. Obviously, University of Denver, a highly accomplished NCAA program. Just grinding it out. And now a full-time NHLer for the first time in his career. Hyman briefly held the zone off the draw, but here comes Michael Backlund with Sharon Govich. Backlund had his shot stuffed. Sharon Govich, 31 goals 2 years ago, dropped off to 17 last year. He's got 11 this season. Shot White Cloud, redirected by Bouchard off the glass, held in by Ball. White Cloud, poor pass coming back to him from Backlund. Now in his 3rd year as captain of the Calgary Flames, and then Ball just got steamrolled by Hyman. And I think this is a whistle due to a potential injury. Oh, yeah, we've got a...
He's got a shoulder injury, Jack.
Yeah.
Kevin Ball,
who's been a workhorse. I think it's a wrist.
Could be a wrist injury. He's trying to gut it out.
He does not want to come off, of course, as you talked about. He's been playing 25, 26 minutes a night since the Anderson trade.
He's their horse.
I'm not sure he's going to win this argument, though. He's being ushered off here holding a right wrist. Let's see. No, he has won the argument. He's going to stay on the bench.
Wonder if he just got a stinger, Jack. It's the only thing I can think of.
It's definitely his right wrist. He doesn't want any attention.
Hyman did not hit him that hard. He just angled him off.
Well, and there was no penalty. That was a player safety situation, not anything to do with Zach Hyman's forecheck.
Now they're looking at him down at the Calgary bench, but...
In any event, Frost against Lazar won the face-off. Zane Parekh, and now we're going to have a fight. Hanley against Emberson, right off the draw, and And Emerson starts with a right hand, an overhand right that misses. Hanley, a couple of right hooks. Emerson answers with an overhand right and an uppercut that fell short, and then hit Hanley hard with a straight right hand. Hanley fires back with a right. This is a tremendous middleweight tilt. They're exchanging right hands, and now Emerson's helmet flies off. Big shots landed by both players. Not often in the same fight do you see both helmets sent hurtling to the ice surface. That was a punch-in-the-face contest.
We had a little Wisconsin and UMass Amherst going at it. That was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That was a good tilt. Old school.
So, coincidental 5-minute fighting majors. Remember, in the game before Christmas, the Oilers and the Flames combined for 154 minutes. It's still the most penalty minutes in a game this year.
This line runs around here. Longborg. Pospisil is a greasy player. That's the polite term.
And Klapka, especially on this ice surface. Giant. Here's a face-off win, a shot from distance taken by Nurse after Lazar won the draw, lobbed out successfully by Lomberg. Here's Stastny up the right-hand side. Chipped in by Szymanski. Parekh rolled it up the left-hand side. Klapka did not get it out. Knocked down Parekh a second time. And he's able to poke the puck through the middle. Janmark took it off Klapka's stick, and with 12 minutes to play in the second period, here's Darnell Nurse breaking away from two Calgary defenders, giving it up for Stastny.
Darnell almost got popped.
Stastny down the middle to Roslovic, and we have offside in the middle of the ice whistled against Edmonton. 11:45 on the game clock, and still the score remains 2-1. Huberdeau and Gridden, power play goals for the Flames. Draisaitl, his 28th for the Oilers.
Only got 6 shots on goal in this period, Jack. First 8 minutes of the period.
Now 5 for Edmonton credited, 2 for Calgary.
They added one there, yeah.
But it has been a quieter period to this point, but that doesn't mean it's been devoid of chances. Remember, the Flames missed the net on not 1 but 2 3-on-1s. Zary up the left-hand side. Sent in deep. Jari will handle that dump in from Farabee. Leave it for Ekholm. Oilers bust out right to left. Mangiapane shovels it in off the backhand side. Cooley will knock it down. Nearly turned it over. Did turn it over. Nugent Hopkins tried to center, and Cooley got a stick in the way. Tell you what, Devin Cooley has not handled the puck cleanly tonight. Ekholm with a steal, and then a tough pass for Evan Bouchard. And now another turnover. Here's Zary in over the line for Farabee. It has been a sloppy game tonight, befitting the circumstances. Last game before the Olympic break for both hockey clubs. Roslovic to Mangiapane. Tried to center. That was deflected. Calgary's just playing for pride right now. The Oilers, you'd think, coming off a tough third period last night against Toronto. Started well on the first, but ever since, it's been a little sloppy on both sides. Sharangovich in the corner for Calgary. Tried to spin it out, and that was poked away by Savoy. Intended target was Weegar. Reload for the Flames in the neutral zone. Here's Yegor Sharangovich. In across the line. Nurse forced it off his stick and then belted him against the end boards. Coronado, tough play back to Parekh at the line, and Parekh couldn't hold the zone. So the Flames have to chase it down in their own end. Parekh with Kapanen forechecking. Up the wall to Huberdeau. To the middle of the ice. Open is Frost. And he, instead of moving it to Gridden, tried to take on both Ekholm and Bouchard. That's where Frost has to see Gridden. Parekh.
Might have been a slash of the Oilers there.
Tried to give it up, but Colson booted it back through center. Well, remember, the officials have plane reservations too, Bob.
Yep.
Here's Gridden across the line. Dishing off Parekh. Snapshot broken up by Ekholm. Rebound scooped up. Moved up the left-hand side to McDavid by Podkolzin. Now Bouchard activated. He'll drop it for Kapanen. Open Podkolzin. A shot to save. Rebound! And Podkolzin could not get a second chance on net, with Cooley still trying to recover and get back into position. White Cloud Takes the puck, gives it up for Martin Pospisil. Around a hip check from Nurse. Rolling puck collected. Pospisil, sharp angle, missed the net. Here's Klapka with 9:05 to play in period 2. A backhand wraparound, and that was stymied by Jarry. McDavid moves it up for Nugent Hopkins. He's reunited with Hyman. McDavid, centering pass, and just out of the reach of Hyman. Here's Lomberg the other way for the Flames. Maybe a 2-on-1 as Weegar joins. Klapka to the net, one-handed, and Nurse played that well. Not really a shot there for Klapka. Here's an opportunity for Kadri, tried to go upstairs, and Jarry had to make a save. McDavid to Hyman off the rebound, poked away at center, and Kadri trying to shake that puck out of his sweater. Finally did, got wrapped up with Stastny, rolled free for Zary, cross ice to Kuznetsov, and he'll gain the line. Hard pass across Kadri, back to the middle, Farabee, Kadri, one-timer coming, score! White Cloud let it fly, and heavy traffic in front of Tristan Jarry. It's 3-1 for the Flames. I believe Zary deflected it home.
Well, the Oilers have passed the puck around the perimeter and not taken shots from those places. And the Flames, a long-range bomber, no chance for Jarry.
I think Zary got a piece.
Double screen on the play.
Very tough to tell, but I think Zary got a piece. Blasted by White Cloud, definitely redirected. And I think Zary, between Nurse and Stastny.
Yep. Good pickup by you.
Deflects it home. His ninth from White Cloud, 3-1 Flames. And that was the deficit staring Edmonton down on December the 27th. They got a goal with about 4.5 to go from McDavid, but fell short. And now might be having another battle coming.
This Pospisil's a dirty player, Jack. Antagonistic. Had over 100 penalty minutes a couple years ago.
He was the guy flattened by Colby Cave in his first professional year, was he not?
Yes, he was.
The late Colby Cave. Janmark and Pospisil sent off here before the puck was ever dropped. And what I've seen, Bob, is not necessarily Lomberg, but Klapka and Pospisil, for me, have always been more noticeable on home ice than in Edmonton, per se, or other rinks.
You get to control the line matchups here, right?
Well, I get that, but also they just seem bigger, and
that's why I'm
feel more formidable.
I'm stunned that Trent Frederick isn't playing tonight.
So Draisaitl against Backlund. Now, 4-on-4 open ice. Edmonton able to get McDavid and Draisaitl out there with that Coleman Bouchard. On paper, this should favor the Oilers. Here's Backlund. Controlling the puck in the neutral zone.
Look out.
And now charging in against Ekholm. White Cloud chips it back to Backlund. He'll keep it on his stick. Little give and go. Backlund, a snapshot and a save made by Tristan Jarry. Rebound Kevin Ball. Trying to protect against McDavid, who took the puck from him, and now the Oilers are away. Draisaitl in from the right-hand side. Again, this 4-on-4 would seem to favor Edmonton. Draisaitl under control. McDavid didn't get a clean look at that puck that came back on him. So Draisaitl gives it to him again. He challenges Ball to the net, and it rolled off his backhand. Now centers for Draisaitl. In the slot, a backhander off Cooley and off the post. And the Oilers miss getting the goal right back by an eyelash. Again, this 4-on-4 should be all Edmonton. Draisaitl. Coming onto the ice, Nurse. Hard on net. That was fought off by Cooley. Rebound, Sharon Govich. Can't get it out. McDavid pestering. Now, it's White Cloud to Ball, who's okay after hurting that wrist. Up to Sharon Govich, and Frost over the line. Hits the trailer. Wrist shot at Kuznetsov. Stopped by Jarry. Well, the Flames survive Draisaitl has changed. McDavid is still out there. And Wallman looks for him on the right-hand side. But by the time Edmonton got possession of the puck, McDavid had changed. Here's Nurse through the neutral zone. Offside would have been Hyman as Nurse made an extra move, so he'll tag back up, receive a pass from Nugent-Hopkins, then fire! And a save made by Cooley. You don't see Hyman shoot from that distance that often, just inside the right circle. And Cooley able to fight it off. And Devin Cooley, with 6:22 to go in the second period, has helped the Flames build a 3-1 lead. Shots are 9-5 in this period for Edmonton.
It's got to be stated. Commercial. What's going on here? Commercial break? Yep.
A late red light. And that tells Bob and I to zip it for 90 seconds. We'll be right back to the Saddle Dome. Late second period. Flames giving the Oilers all they want. They lead it 3-1. This is the Battle of Alberta and Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
From backyard rinks to big arenas under bright lights, electricity powers every moment. At Capital Power, we generate reliable, affordable electricity for OilCountry and beyond, powering innovation, opportunity, and thriving economies across North America. Just like our Edmonton Oilers, we're driven, determined, and lighting up the game. We're powering change by changing power. Get to know us at capitalpower.com.
As the new year begins, Freedom Ford invites customers to start 2026 with confidence. Freedom Ford is offering deals on remaining 2025 Ford models with limited time incentives, lease specials, and the return of low financing. Customers can come see the new 2026 Ford models, from the spacious Ford Explorer to the top safety-rated Ford F-150. Freedom Ford showcases vehicles built for winter roads, weekend travel, and everyday reliability. Come on by today and see the complete Ford lineup today at Freedom Ford.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, this is why they call it the Battle of Alberta. It doesn't matter. One team's playing for first place. The other team is playing for pride. But the Flames have been a tough matchup for not just the Oilers, but a lot of teams. They play hard. And you've got to find a way to wear them down.
Well, they play real hard here, Jack.
That's true.
They're terrible on the road. They're 8-17-2 on the road.
And one of those wins in Edmonton. Roslovic wins the faceoff when they were down 3-0. Emerson to Savoy. That was opening night. Roslovic. Penalties are over. Back to 5-on-5. Roslovic, a shot through a screen. A save by Cooley. A clear by Uyghur. And Stastny will pick it up at his own end. 6 minutes to play in the second period. The Flames have not trailed. That's what happened last time in this building. Calgary held on for a 3-2 win. Mangiapane will send it in. After it is Kuznetsov. Tied up as Uyghur. Played it up the right-hand side for Huberdeau. The puck did not exit. Uyghur smashed Mangiapane to the ice. And now Kuznetsov looks up ice. Backlund inexplicably didn't play that puck, so it was stolen by Roslovic and sent in deep once more by Mangiapane, who will pick it up in the left corner offensive zone. Nurse at the point. A shot blocked. Rebound held in for the moment by Wallman. Draisaitl wanted that puck to go somewhere else. The Flames took advantage, and the outlet Britton waits no time in shooting from the high slot as he was on his way off, so he figures, why not shoot it? I like that attitude, Bob.
Well, he's a good, they got something with that player, because he will shoot.
Well, and as you know, stalwart in the Quebec League, had 36 goals a year ago after 2 years in the USHL. Originally a late first-round pick, 2024. Shot by Hanley high slot. That ricocheted off the linesman. A centering pass stolen away by Nurse. Jari made the save initially on Hanley, who has not scored in his last 57 games. Here's Draisaitl. He'll gain the line for the Oilers. He'll spin and try to center. That one off Kadri's skate. Hanley looking up ice. For years, kind of the extra guy in Dallas. Now now getting regular time here in Calgary.
He's played well.
Zary will move it for Farabee. They'll swing it around the boards to Nazem Kadri. 4:20 to play in the second period. Calgary 3, Edmonton 1. That puck wobbles outside the zone off the tape of Farabee. Shot back in by Kevin Ball. As Bob mentioned, the Flames are 14-10-4 on home ice. Oilers 9-3-1 in their last 13 on the road. That's at stake right now. Their last road game, a 6-0 walloping of Vancouver. Here's McDavid individually trying to change the complexion of this one, and he got a backhander away. That's gobbled up by Cooley as he tried to beat 4 Flames. In the crowd, you can almost hear the buzz as 19,289 in unison, sensing something special might happen. But Ball forced him out wide, and Cooley has been perfect on 10 second period shots. 3-1 Calgary. 3:47 to go in the second. We're back in a moment to the Saddle Dome with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on February 25th at Muggins. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Oiler 50-50 jackpot reset. The draw date
February 4th. That's tonight.
That's tonight.
Yep.
Darnell Nurse's 31st birthday. Right now it's at $89 grand. You've got your bonus jackpot at $1.1 million. Bouchard to Ekholm, a shot, and that's squeezed by Cooley as we bring it back with 3:34 to play in the second period. Cooley now with 11 second period saves. But on that 50-50, you can also win a $1,000 gift card to Esso. For Bob, that's about 5 Phillips and a 3-game Oiler ticket package.
I'm not running them up anymore, Jack, now that I'm living at Stantec.
That's true. You probably last filled your tank sometime in October. Here's McDavid against Backlund. Wins the faceoff. Ekholm in the corner against Backlund. You'd think a guy with that low of a gas bill would pick up a few more checks. Here's McDavid.
Oh, stop.
Ekholm back down low. Hyman.
I got something for you.
Sent up the right-hand side.
2 weeks from today.
Lob by White Cloud, picked up by Coronado. Driving out wide, shoots off the shoulder of Jarry. Rebound, Nugent Hopkins. Good look for Bouchard. Right circle. Hits the trailer. McDavid tried to go cross ice to Hyman. Went off the skate, but we've got a penalty against Calgary. And the Oilers' power play will get a look here. Late second period, a high stick. And the Oilers, who scored their only goal of the game, it's a slash, excuse me, Coronado to the box at 17:06. And this is what Calgary did not want to do. With the game kind of stalemated 5-on-5, and there's no question Coronado brought his stick hard down on the left wrist of Connor McDavid, who's none the worse for wear. And now this Oiler power play, brought to you by Atco Energy, can draw Edmonton within 3-2 heading into the second period. And I think quite frankly, psychologically, this is a big power play.
This is a bigger game than most people realize, and this is a big sequence in this game right now.
I mean, 3-1 as compared to 3-2, especially for a Flames club that has to feel they're probably not going to get another goal based on their offensive output this year. You'd love a 2-goal spread if you're Ryan Huskin.
Well, the way the Oilers are giving them up, Jack, I'm not sure about that, but
Draisaitl against Backlund.
Edmonton needs a power play goal here.
Only 6 shots for the Flames in this period, but one of them was tipped home by Connor Zary.
That's because they've had a net front, and the Oilers haven't had a lot of net front presence in this game.
Clear off the draw by the Flames. McDavid has picked up the speed through the neutral zone. Takes a pass from Draisaitl. Button hooks and gives it to Draisaitl. McDavid deep in the right circle. Shoots and a save made by Cooley. Rebound in front. Hyman whacking away. Still available in the blue paint and now frozen by Cooley. And Draisaitl saying maybe Cooley got some help from Uyghur.
6 shots on goal in this game for Connor McDavid.
Cooley did well to kind of not drop that glove, fight it off, and then locate the puck in his feet with help from Uyghur.
Cooley's been good. He's a big man.
Devin Cooley came in just 6 wins in those 15 starts, but again, barely a 2.0 goals against and a save percentage of better than 92.
And plus 11.7 goals saved above expectations, Jack.
Draisaitl wins a face-off. Cross ice. McDavid juggles, protecting against Backlund. He'll give it up. Bouchard redirected off the heel of Draisaitl's stick, but wide. Nugent Hopkins battling White Cloud, and the Flames will bust out. Maybe a 3-on-2 shorthanded. Farabee cuts to his left, gives it up. Backlund tried to thread it through, and Kevin Ball wisely will just backhand it in deep.
Oilers were a little slow reacting there. Calgary was in a position to, oh, look out.
A little juggle by McDavid. Minute to go on the power play. Sharon Govich pursuing. McDavid reverse pivot. Beats him across the line. Gives it up for Draisaitl. Served over to Bouchard. Puck held in. Nugent Hopkins. Now McDavid. Centering pass. Bouchard. Dishes off. One-timer score. What a work by Bouchard. And Draisaitl finishes from beneath the right circle. It's 3-2.
Well, Sharon Govich is going to say he got a stick from Leon on the follow-through.
They've already indicated it's a follow-through.
Yep.
Draisaitl buries it. Well, no, he wouldn't be saying he got a stick from Draisaitl unless it was earlier in the shift.
He was down there. The Calgary bench has called the officials over here.
Power play goal.
It's going to be a power play goal. There's no way to review that.
Draisaitl with his second power play goal of the game, his 13th of the year, and give him 29 goals now on the season. But that was some look from Evan Bouchard. And only a guy like Draisaitl you'd think to feed in that position. And, of course, Bouchard with no hesitation. It's still a sharp angle, even though the net's wide open. Face-off win for Roslovic. And the Oilers do get that power play goal they desperately needed. And now both teams are 2 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. So 3-2 in favor of Calgary. But Colson in from the right-hand side. He'll challenge Kuznetsov out wide. Up top for Emberson. Put Colson to the middle. Stolen by Gridden. Off balance, Huberdeau. Unable to come up with that puck cleanly. So Emberson and Stastny will trade. Here's Kasperi Kapanen with a minute to go in the second period. Draisaitl, a pair of power play goals, giving Edmonton some life. Emberson, his shot, forced wide by Kuznetsov. Rebound, poke free, Farabee. To the middle of the ice for Nazem Kadri. He'll skate through the neutral zone, drop it back to Farabee. Spun around the boards, Kevin Ball. Kadri. Edmonton scoring on the back half of that Atco Energy power play to pull within 3-2. White Cloud. Farabee left circle. Down the slot. Fighting off a check. Zary in front. And Kadri could not finish. Laid off the glass and out. This is going to hit the goal line and thus be ruled icing against Edmonton with 17.7 on the game clock. We're late second period, and it's 3-2 for the Flames. By the way, Connor McDavid did get an assist on that second Draisaitl power play goal, leaving him with a league-high 96 points. And that's important because Edmonton has not won any of the 10 games where McDavid hasn't been on the score sheet.
Right now, the Oilers got to get through the next 17.7 seconds, Jack. D-zone draw.
Szymanski against Kadri. Now, on his knees, Zary. He'll pop back up. Look to give it up for Kadri. 10 seconds. Up top for Kevin Ball. Swung across. Whitecloud. Shot. Wide. Rebound off the end boards. Szymanski has the puck. Clears to Podkolzin. And the horn sounds to end the second period. And the Oilers get a big goal late. Draisaitl is second of the game off a sublime feed from Evan Bouchard. Calgary managed just 6 second period shots, but again, got the tip in 5-on-5 goal from Connor Zary. And that's the only 5-on-5 goal of the hockey game. And it's the difference right now as Calgary takes a 1-goal lead to the final 20 minutes. I thought it was a mammoth goal and changes the mood in both locker rooms. In my opinion, that might be one of the bigger goals that the Oilers have gotten all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to go into the break and sit on this loss for 3 weeks.
They got to get the win here tonight. And they still got some work left, obviously, to do, Jack, in period number 3. The power plays are now equal at 2 for 3. Oilers got to create some more 5-on-5. That said, they
outshot them 15-6 in the second.
They outshot them 15-6. Right now, they're on pace for about 37, 38 shots here. Cooley's been good. You're going to have to work to score to beat him.
And Devin Cooley, right now credited with 23 saves. He has been the difference as well on a night where both teams have 2 power play goals. Draisaitl up to 29 on the year. And again, 13 of those coming on the power play. The Oiler power play, Bob and I had talked about it, just 16% over the last 10 games, but 2 for 3 and keeping Edmonton's hopes for a win in this season series. Remember, coming into tonight, the Oilers 1-1-1. Calgary 4 points head-to-head as compared to Edmonton's 3. An Oiler win in regulation would tip the scales in favor of Edmonton for the year at 5 points to 4. That's ahead right now in the here and now. It's a 3-2 Calgary lead with 20 minutes to play. On deck, we've got Brendan Escott and Rob Brown. Bob and I live at the Saddle Dome for the final Battle of Alberta this season. It's Calgary 3, Edmonton 2 after 40, and this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
It's our YEG with 880 Chad.
Avast mateys. 880 Chad and Jubilation's Dinner Theater invite you to sail the musical tides with Pirates of the River Saskatchewan Listener Appreciation Night on February 18th. Your treasure awaits at 880ched.com. Then the red wine is set to flow as pop legends UB40 hit the stage at Midway Music Hall for their Unstoppable tour on October 13th. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.
For details on these and more events, visit 880ched.com. This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Centering pass, Bouchard dishes off. One-timers score. What a work by Bouchard, and Draisaitl finishes from beneath the right circle. It's 3-2.
Huge goal there for the Edmonton Oilers. That's our highlight zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. It's 3-2 for the Calgary Flames following 40 minutes of play down at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. They exchanged goals in that second period. You heard one of them there, Leon Draisaitl. That was in response to Connor Zary's 9th of the year. So we sit at 3-2. The first 5-6 minutes of that period absolutely blew by, Rob. They didn't have a whistle, and it was electrified hockey, albeit, again, from a coach's perspective, probably not that nice to watch.
No, there was, it was grade A chance after grade A chance, turnover after turnover. It was, for the Calgary Flames, they did not want to be playing that way. They had a 1-goal lead, and they were getting chances, but they were giving up chances. And if you're the Edmonton Oilers, the one thing that you've talked about as of late has becoming a better defensive team, and they gave up 2 3-on-1s in the first 5 minutes of the second period. Tristan Jarry made the saves that he needed to, but again, the Oilers have played well enough to be in the lead in this game, but they've made enough big mistakes that they're trailing. Now, the Oilers got a break at the end of the period. They get the power play goal on a play that it looked like Leon's stick hit Sherganovich in the face, cut him open. So, it probably should have been a penalty, but if they were saying it's a follow-through, he was out of the play. So it became a 5-on-3. And one of the reasons that the pass was able to get from McDavid out to Bouchard is the Calgary Flame player was still laying on the ice. So the others took advantage of it. They get a goal, and now this just sets up for a fantastic finish. Now, this is not a position the Oilers want to be in. Down a goal in Calgary in the last game of the season before the Olympic break. It's not what they expected, not what we expected. But that goal now makes the comeback a little bit easier, as now you're just one shot away of tying it up here in the third period.
Which we know is so well within their reach, and having a full period versus off air, like, how is a team that has supposedly tried to focus on mitigating those still ended up in a situation where they're giving up a boatload of them? I don't know what it is, but it's, I don't know. Just go find a win a period, win a game.
And that's what it is. And they've put themselves in that position, but because they've got some good goaltending, and the Flames have missed some grade A scoring chances. It hasn't been pretty. Defensively, the defensive miscues that we have seen over the last 15 games are still there. This is a Calgary team that doesn't score much. But you're on the road. You have a chance. If you win 20 minutes, it gets you at least a point, if not 2. I think you look at the positives. It was a big power play goal. I think in the third period, neither team wants to take a penalty.
Yeah.
Because 4 goals so far, 2 from each team have been scored on the power play. It'll be interesting to see, though, in the third period. We talked all before the game, the new line combinations. We know in third periods of hockey games where the Oilers are trailing, they load up Connor and Leon. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case tonight.
Yeah, it certainly will. Just looking at the box score here, some very low times out there for guys like Andrew Mangiapane and Josh Szymanski. Just over 5 minutes and change for Mangiapane. Szymanski's about 6 minutes tonight, -1. So it's got the feel of the game where he's going to go to the whip in the third period here, trying to manufacture a couple of points, in my opinion.
You're not playing for 3 weeks. So
as well.
You don't have to worry about a game tomorrow or the next day, or 3 games in 4 nights. So as long as this game stays close, and if the Flames are in the lead, I would say that the over-under on Connor and Leon in the third period is 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I think that you'll see at least 10 minutes of them in this third period. It's the way that Knobloch coaches. It gives the Oilers their best chance of winning. So we will see a lot. It'll be interesting, though, if we see them together or if we see them apart in the final 20 minutes.
So we venture into this final 20 minutes with the Oilers needing a goal to tie it, 2 goals to win it. And if that's the case, again, they can't allow another, which we've said a few times over this year. And so we'll see if they can mitigate those opportunities. And again, stay out of the box. That is so prudent for this team. They outshot them 15-6 in the middle frame, so they had the play controlled there. But Devin Cooley's looking good tonight, I would suggest, in goal, having made 23 saves on 25 shot attempts thus far.
Well, he's been fantastic. And again, we started looking up his his story. Mm-hmm. Undrafted goaltender that has had some rough starts in his early in his NHL career, but has battled here in Calgary, not only to become their backup when in the preseason they weren't sure where he was going to fit in, but his stats are better than their star goaltender, Wolf. So he's had a good season. He's having a great night. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to have to really put a lot of pressure on him here in the final 20 minutes to sneak one, if not two, by him before this night is done.
We are at the intermission. It's 3-2 Calgary Flames through 40 minutes of play. We'll come back with the out-of-town scoreboard here on your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, they recommend pairing locally distilled spirits and their ice-cold beer selection with... And Oilers win! Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, proud partners and fans of the Edmonton Oilers. Please enjoy responsibly.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
At Brent, our job description is whatever you need to succeed. Expert support, parts when you need them, and financing that fits on the compact construction machines you want. Equipment, expertise, value, delivered right to your door. We do it right at your site. Call your Brent dealer to book your demo today.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. Guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an HVAC technician. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to install furnaces. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay. Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. Edmonton's audit committee has heard two separate reports looking at delays and problems in October's municipal election. The reports say provincial rule changes made it harder for volunteers to count ballots and are recommending changes for the next one. City audits are recommending that Edmonton election take a more comprehensive approach to training to avoid voter and staff frustration. An action plan will be created at a later date for the 2029 election. A 35-year-old Calgary man has been sentenced to 16 years in prison after joining in, then participating in a terrorist group. In her decision, Justice Corina Dario says that she's found no evidence Jamal Borhat's views have changed since he returned to Calgary from Syria in 2014. The NDP is calling on Prime Minister Mark Carney to cancel Canada's purchase of U.S.-made F-35 fighter jets and look to Europe instead. Interim NDP leader Don Davis says buying American jets deepens Canada's military dependence on Washington, arguing Sweden's offer is a safer alternative. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast will be after the game on 880 CHED.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is always growing. Right now, they're hiring heavy equipment technicians, EM servicemen, and maintenance supervisors. Apply if you're from here or across the country. Even if you're from the Rock, they want to talk. Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and better than ever. With more early bird prizes, bonus raffles, and million-dollar jackpots, the largest 50-50 in professional sports can change your life forever. And every ticket purchase helps more kids, more families, and more communities in need than ever before. Get your 50-50 tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place. Who knows? You could be Alberta's next millionaire.
AGLC license number 744-517.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
All right, Oilers down 3-2 through 40 minutes of play at the Saddle Dome. Let's get to your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. 10 games in all in the league tonight. The Stars doubling up the Blues 4-2. Golden Knights up 3-2 on the Canucks in the second intermission. Same two with the Kraken over the Kings, 3-2 through 40 minutes. Panthers beat the Bruins in a shootout, 5-4. Columbus over the Blackhawks, 4-0. Montreal 5-1 over Winnipeg. 6-5. The Wild beat the Predators in overtime. Avalanche over the Sharks 4-2. And the Utah Mammoth beats Detroit 4-1. Down on the farm, Bakersfield was victorious 3-2 yesterday. That was against the Calgary Wranglers. They're home for one more, and they've had a great home record this year, by the way, the Condors have. So they'll try and defend the Dignity Health Arena with the Ontario Reign in town on Friday, and then they'll flip the script and go to Ontario on Saturday night. And the Oil Kings were victorious 4-2 against Medicine Hat tonight down in the Hat. The first star of the game was from Medicine Hat, Jonas Wu, but Ethan Simcoe picked up your second star of the game for the Oil Kings. That's your out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. We're looking for an answer. One final period before the Olympic break. We'll see what it holds. Back to Jack and Bob we go. We're at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PV sent you.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Now, more than ever, it's time to shop Canadian. Support your local businesses that create jobs and invest in our communities. Brought to you by Proudly Canadian 880 Chad.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so, because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates always. Gimmicks never. Perks that reward your loyalty and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by Emcor, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Discover the many ways to connect with 880 Chad. Whether you're on your Google Nest saying, "Hey Google, play 880 Chad," or talking to your virtual assistant on Amazon Echo with a simple "Alexa, play 880 Chad." We've got you covered. From Siri to Alexa, Bixby to Cortana. No need for the old transistor radio. Just say, "Play 880 Chad" on your smart speaker and stay connected to what's happening in Edmonton right now. 880 Chad, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers had the second most wins this year when trailing after two periods. They're a respectable 5-18-2. Calgary, meanwhile, when leading after two, hasn't happened often. This is just the 18th time in Calgary's 56 games that they've enjoyed a lead after 40 minutes. They're 14-2-1, and they'll be relying heavily on Devin Cooley, who's made 23 saves tonight to give Calgary a 3-2 lead. The only even-strength goal of the game is the difference right now. A Connor Zary tip-in. Leon Draisaitl is a pair on the power play for Edmonton, and he'll start the third period opposite Nazem Kadri in the face-off circle, which he wins cleanly. Nurse over to Wallman. Draisaitl's line mates tonight put Colson and Kapanen. Shot in by Nurse. Oilers have lost 2 of 3 to Calgary. One game in a shootout, and that was the opener. Edmonton in the offensive zone. Zary bumped it off the stick of Wallman, who tried to keep it in. Farabee able to twirl it up to Michael Backlund. Did not get it in deep, and thus the Flames would have been whistled for an offside. Wallman wallpapers Zary, and finally nudged free by Kapanen, race for the puck, and Jari is able to jab at it and get it up to Draisaitl for a reset to Darnell Nurse, who lost it at his feet. And now you've got Michael Backlund trying to center for Coronado. That pass was tipped. Wallman recovered and helped bail out his partner. Coronado, when he tried to center, had it picked off by Draisaitl. He backhanded off the back of Kapanen's skate. Wallman, as Edmonton changes to Connor McDavid, who assisted on the second Draisaitl power play goal late in the second period that has kind of changed the complexion of this game. A nervous hush at Calgary's Saddledome. Now the Flames hung on to win 3-2 back on December the 27th. Can they do it again? Huberdeau shoots from the right circle. That's where he scored in the first period. This one, Jari stops on a shot along the ice.
Oilers obviously have reloaded their top two lines, Jack.
Bouchard to McDavid, darting in right, hits high back door, and Cooley got across on Ekholm, who jumped up. Indeed, Nugent Hopkins out there with McDavid and Hyman, and then Draisaitl reunited with Podkolzin and Kapanen. Kuznetsov a drive, and that was redirected. Rebound, Pospisil, a second hack at it, and Jari repelled both. Zary, a hard pass up top. Kuznetsov to Pospisil. Kuznetsov open, shoots, lunging stop made by Jari. Rebound, slashed at, and a good save, Jari on Uyghur, who kind of chopped wood, and now Ekholm and Lomberg stretch one another out with forearm shivers. 17:52 remaining, and it's 3-2 Calgary.
I'll tell you this right now for free. We are watching a really good goaltending performance tonight from Devin Cooley. I mean, he flat out robbed the Edmonton Oilers, Matthias Ekholm, on a wonderful backside setup, courtesy of Connor McDavid.
Good push across to the left skate. And Cooley kind of jammed his right leg into the post, was shaking it out as the puck moved up ice. Kadri against Szymanski, who wins the faceoff in the Oilers zone, and then Kadri failed to hold the line. So Szymanski up to Matt Savoy with Roslovic on the left-hand side. Szymanski back to third-line center. This is basically the alignment that Edmonton utilized to begin the game against Toronto last night, a 5-2 loss. Minus Frederick, of course, who's a healthy scratch. Roslovic into the zone. His shot stopped by a block up top in the high slot, and Kadri just dumps it in for Calgary. Line change for the Flames, and Emberson in his own zone. So that third line now with Lazar and Janmark, a mixture at center, and Mangiapane. Here's Gridden off an Edmonton neutral zone turnover. Huberdeau back to Gridden. One-timer ripped by ball on net. The rebound eluded Huberdeau, and that's a good thing for Edmonton. Otherwise, it might have been 4-2. Janmark picks it up in the neutral zone and brings it in deep. A backhander sent wide by Lazar. Janmark across seamer that got through. Lazar just missed the net. Morgan Frost chips and charging in. Klapka tried to center, and Jari got a piece of that. Intended target was Lomberg, who now receives a pass from Uyghur and turned it over to Lazar. Back to center. Uyghur at the red line. He'll gain the zone. Mackenzie Uyghur finally popped off his stick by Kapanen, but Uyghur stayed with it, tried to return to the point, but Kuznetsov had vacated the zone. Sends it across to Lomberg, and the Flames will play keep away. Pospisil, Kuznetsov, Uyghur, and Pospisil at center ice will dump it in. Line change Flames. 4 minutes gone, third period. Edmonton's 20 minutes to live is down to 16. Oilers looking to avoid a third straight loss heading into the break. They haven't lost 3 in a row since October. Kapanen a shot up top, and then ends up in the back of the net. Went through Devin Cooley and Kasperi Kapanen. A high riser that ends up trickling home. Cooley didn't know where it was, couldn't stay stable, and Kapanen, as he did last night, ties ties the game in the third period as it rolls off the back of Devin Cooley.
Well, Kasperi Kapanen's a two-time 20-goal scorer, and he can shoot the puck. But one of the things that he does, Jack, is he shoots the puck while he's moving, which sometimes changes the release point, and I think he clearly surprised Devin Cooley there from that distance.
His fifth goal in 19 games, goals in back-to-back. And Cooley, who had played so well, gives up a bit of a questionable one. Here's Sharon Govich, a wrist shot pushed wide, and the rebound knocked away at the last minute from Backlund by Connor McDavid. Good defensive play. Here's Zach Whitecloud in the corner. Tried to center, went off the skate of Bouchard. Ekholm comes up with a puck. Off the right-hand side, Hyman. And now spooned in by Nugent-Hopkins for McDavid. Back to Nugent-Hopkins, and he wired one up top. Nugent-Hopkins, most goals and points against any opponent is the Calgary Flames. Speaking of, McDavid came in with 30 regular season goals against Calgary, plus the series winner in Game 5 back in 22. Here's Backlund rolling across the line, dishing off Coronado. Couldn't get a shot away. Hyman took it from him. And now McDavid pushes ahead for Savoy and will join the rush. Savoy's in. He shoots the save. A second opportunity. And Cooley holds sway to keep the game tied at 3. Now Jack Roslovic circling, driven against the boards by Kuznetsov. Uyghur will send it down the middle on net, so Jari has to stop it, and there's no icing.
But Colson and Bouchard on the assist, Jack.
Sent in deep by Savoy. And I know you're saying Kapanen might have surprised Cooley, but that's a goal you can't give up.
Yep, fair comment.
Frost, Gridden ahead, and finally chipped in by Huberdeau. Picked up by Stastny. Up the right-hand side, Hanley unable to hold the line. Szymanski crashed into him and forced it back to center. Now the crowd trying to get the Flames back in it. Klapka, hard and in deep. First time in a while the crowd has been this fully engaged. Hanley, Paraka shot. That sailed wide of Jari, got caught up in the back of the net for a moment. Pulled free by Klapka. Gets it from Pospisil. Spun it up top for Parak. Ryan Lomberg. Parak off his back skate, and that'll flutter outside the zone. Hanley to Parak. Pospisil onside is Lomberg charging in. Left circle shot over the net. Rebound Whitecloud. Hits Kadri. Tried to jam it toward the net, and then kicked by Lomberg, and he scores. Off the pads of Jari, and Lomberg has goals in back-to-back games against Edmonton, and he restores the Flames lead. It's 4-3.
What are you doing?
Explain.
Double deflection, flick back out. Jari looks down. He tried to play it. That puck's hopping. Emerson goes to kick it. It gets deflected by Lomberg to the net, and Jari doesn't control a rebound and bats it. Oh, that's another bad goal.
It starts with Lomberg just kicking it on net, and of course, if it goes in, it doesn't count, but Jari kicked it right back to him, and then Lomberg finished with his stick. 4-3 Calgary. Kadri wins the faceoff against Draisaitl.
Can't control that line in this building.
Here's Nazem Kadri.
You just have to match them physically.
Flipping it just wide. And then a clear by Edmonton up the right-hand side. Kadri and Whitecloud with the assists on the Lomberg goal, as no possession was gained, so that's why there's assists credited. Oilers funnel it through the neutral zone, cap it into Podkolzin. From the right half boards to Nurse. His shot hit Uyghur. Sent ahead for Michael Backlund, who inexplicably just gave it right to Jake Wallman. Now he'll look to regain the puck against Darnell Nurse. I don't know what Backlund was thinking. Kapanen tried to go cross ice. McDavid had it pulled off his stick by Coronado. He's going to try to track Coronado down, who wisely dumps it in, and at least puts it beneath the Edmonton goal line. McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins snatched away by Kuznetsov at center. And the Flames will charge back in. White Cloud put it over the stick of Bouchard behind the net. Ekholm around the boards. Poked into the skates of Backlund by Hyman. Kept at the line by Backlund. Coronado snapshot. Sharangovich missed the net. Rebound up on the plexi. Kuznetsov, and he turned it over. Flubbed it. And now Zach Hyman will put it in deep. Back to regain possession for the Flames as White Cloud calmly scoops back through the neutral zone. Hyman to McDavid. Late change for the Flames. Here's McDavid in the middle of the ice for Nugent Hopkins. Gliding. Bouchard showing slapper. Gives it up. Ekholm in front. What a save. Cooley on Hyman. Rebound McDavid. One-timer Bouchard. Another save Cooley. Backhanded out by Gridden. Here's Sharangovich. A one-handed swing will get the puck in deep. With 11:15 remaining in the third period, it's 4-3 Calgary.
I'm only playing 3 lines the rest of the way. That 4th line just got scored on at even strength. That's it for them for me.
Bouchard to Emberson. He'll dump it in. Roslovic wrapped up by Hanley. Huberdeau. Roslovic able to pin it into the corner. Now you've got Szymanski bowled over, wrestled free by Roslovic. Quick one-timer to save Cooley on Stastny. Tell you what, Josh Szymanski,
he's been fine.
He's been more than fine. I like his physical play in this game. It's almost as though he recognizes that aspect of his game has to rise in the Battle of Alberta. And you don't mind that organically coming from a guy who perhaps prior to this year wasn't really aware of the Battle of Alberta. Szymanski and the Oilers still have some work to do. 10:47 to go, and it's Ryan Lomberg that's put Calgary ahead. It's 4-3 live from the Saddle Dome. Our Ford Dealers NHL hockey coverage continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Do your tires feel like hockey pucks on the road? Perhaps it's time for a new set of Atturo tires. No matter what you drive, Atturo has the right fit for you, including the all-new Trailblade HT and AZ810, premium all-weather tires for your pickup, car, SUV, or crossover. You can rest assured that Atturo tires will get you through all 4 seasons. Available at Action Car and Truck, Point S, and tire shops everywhere. Find a dealer near you at atturo.com.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
What's that? Did I read that wrong?
Yeah.
Live third period play-by-play, 10:47 to go at the Saddle Dome. Edmonton down a goal. It's 4-3, Calgary. Draisaitl wins a faceoff cleanly. Nurse trying to get through Weegar. Calgary's not a good faceoff team. A backhander in front. And Nurse thought he had flipped it over the prostrate Devin Cooley. But he's able to squeeze it with 10:39 to go in the third. Edmonton, a top 5 club when it comes to faceoff. Calgary, bottom third of the league. And you wonder whether that plays a factor in the final 10 minutes with Edmonton once again chasing the game. As it did last night against Toronto, as it did against Minnesota, and as it did in wins over San Jose and Washington. Draisaitl wins the faceoff. Nurse, a shot. That was tipped. Rebound, Draisaitl. On it from the right corner over to Kapanen. Tried to put the brakes on, threaded it through, but Colson, a little give and go with Draisaitl behind the Calgary net. And now from the right corner, Draisaitl to Woolman, serves it up, Nurse, but Colson had it dislodged off the stick. Battles through a check. Kadri came over, sent it down the ice. That'll wobble dead near the goal line. No icing. Woolman with Farabee on him. Zary freed it up. Kadri, sharp angle shot, fought off by Tristan Jarry, and the rebound chucked ahead for Draisaitl. Going to muscle his way through Kevin Ball. Nurse tried to drag it toward the net, and that was stripped. Then Draisaitl gets crunched against the boards by Ball. Kadri had it stripped by Podkolzin. Came free to Hyman, sent off the boards, and Zary will just nudge it off the wall, allowing Calgary a change. Nurse scrambles back to make a play on it. Quick up to Hyman. Bouchard the trailer. Hyman fell down. Bouchard held the line. That's a strength. Nurse had McDavid wide open in the slot. Instead went around the boards to Bouchard at the point. Calgary able to cut that off in the outlet to the middle, and Backlund will backhand it up to center. Now McDavid takes a cross-seamer from Ekholm. In over the line, Nugent-Hopkins. Bouchard is open. Directs a pass, Ekholm. Puts the brakes on against Backlund. Forced behind the net by his countrymen. And now McDavid steps up and shoots, and that just missed. He was almost trying to bank that off the shin pads of Hyman, who sent it around the boards. McDavid, who again has terrorized Calgary for years. Nugent-Hopkins against Uyghur. Lost the stick in the jersey, and that's a stick infraction the Flames can ill afford to take. Uyghur's had a tough year, and he just took a tough penalty with 8:42 to go in the third. Edmonton will be back to the man advantage for a fourth time tonight. The Oilers hoping the power play can carry them through this game and tie it up in the here and now. Uyghur for hooking. We send you to break from the Saddle Dome and our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. It's Calgary 4, Edmonton 3. Oil in search of the equalizer. And that's next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Flames penalty kill came into this game having surrendered just 3 goals in their last 17 hockey games. They've given up 2 already tonight. Now Edmonton looks for a third and a tie game. 8:42 to play, third period. 4-3 Calgary. Draisaitl a face-off to the right of Devin Cooley. Mackenzie Uyghur wearing the green jacket right now at minus 32 for the year. Just took a hooking penalty on Nugent-Hopkins.
Holy cow, it's dropped.
Draisaitl between Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman. McDavid stationed in the high slot. Bouchard left point. Clean face-off win Backlund. And that snapped up the boards and out by Kevin Ball. Jarry to leave it. Shots are 9-9 in the third. Lomberg, the go-ahead goal for Calgary. Draisaitl to McDavid, cuts to his left, in the high slot, and he ripped one wide, and that'll be blasted down the ice by Ball once again.
Almost caught Cooley leaning the wrong way.
Oiler power play brought to you by Atco Energy. Well, he did, just didn't hit the net. Bouchard drops it off for McDavid. Hits the Calgary line, little chop by Farabee, so McDavid dumps it in. That seemed to fool Cooley, who did not play the puck well. We talked about that back in the first period. And Nugent Hopkins and Hyman able to contain down low. It's nudge free, chance for a clear. Farabee put it off the stick, off of McDavid's helmet, and it ricocheted to Sharon Govich. He'll skate it up to the red line and lob it in as McDavid checking all faculties. Jari held the puck and forced to freeze it by Sharon Govich. Face-off coming back in the Edmonton zone as McDavid checking to make sure all facial features are present and accounted for.
And let's make sure the concussion specialist doesn't sit and say, well, you got to be hit by the puck. We got to look at you. Come on.
7:40 to go in the third period. Draisaitl wins the face-off. Here's McDavid to Draisaitl. McDavid loops back. Now we'll take a pass from Draisaitl. Over the line, Draisaitl to Bouchard. In the high slot, attacking zone. Edmonton setting up on the power play. McDavid to Draisaitl, right face-off dot. Bouchard, one-timer, save Cooley. Rebound, swatted to the half wall by Sharon Govich, and then pounded down the ice. Ball and Sharon Govich doing the job on this kill. Bouchard back to gather. Still 20 seconds left on the power play. McDavid charges in. Pulls up top of the left circle. Off to Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl in front, and Hyman couldn't get there in time. It's McDavid. He centers. That was deflected. High up on the glass. Draisaitl protecting against a pair of flames. Digging in is Farabee. And he comes up with a puck and clears it down the ice, and that'll do it for the Oiler power play. Now 2 for 4 tonight. Calgary is 2 for 3. 4-3 our score. Only even strength goal for Edmonton is Kasperi Kapanen. He's not on the ice. Klapka with a steal. Booted by Ekholm over to Savoy. Wallman to Szymanski at center ice. Left wing lead for Ekholm, broken up by Klapka. And he'll work his way through the neutral zone, chipping it in deep. Wallman gathering himself with 6 minutes on the clock. Fires up the left-hand side, broken up by Hanley. And then pulling his way in on Savoy is Klapka. Connor Zary tries to muscle his way around Wallman. Now Kadri. It's been relatively quiet tonight for Calgary. Directs a pass to Zary. Wallman with Zary hugging that puck on his right-hand side. Wallman's stick is entangled as well. And with 5:37 to go, the action whistled to a halt. We'll take time out. One final break. And when we come back, the final frenetic 5.5 as the Oilers look for yet another comeback victory. They did it last week on home ice against both San Jose and Washington. Can they do it tonight at the Saddle Dome? They're down a goal, and this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the final Battle of Alberta for this season. The Oilers Radio Network.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on February 25th at Muggins. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
Steelhaus Triton, 2 legendary oilfield services brands, one powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go. Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4-3 Calgary, 5:37 remaining. Still an eternity to play. But this was the situation the Oilers found themselves in back in December. And they didn't get the equalizer. Devin Cooley has made 32 saves. His only prior appearance against the Oilers, he gave up 8 on 22 shots before finally being pulled in a 9-2 Oiler thrashing of the San Jose Sharks. But Colson off the draw, locates Draisaitl, tried to hit Kapanen ahead of the field, but that pass did not make its way through a fair pair of Flames, and because Draisaitl was offside, he had to peel back. Now Weegar up the left-hand side, booted away from Kadri. Kapanen will kick it back for Emberson. Then Kapanen a one-touch for Vasily Podkolzin. Kapanen, who briefly tied this game in the third period, only to see it untied moments later. Very similar fate awaited Kapanen last night against Toronto when he tied the game, and then the Leafs got 2 power play goals.
Jack, I think we can make a strong argument. They got to get Kapanen more ice time.
Kapanen to Draisaitl. He lumbers across the line down the right-hand side. But Colson and now Hyman with him. And the Flames able to reverse that puck back through the neutral zone. Bouchard will await the line change as McDavid comes on to join Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Bouchard turned it over. Sharon Govich, left circle. Tried to go back door, and Coronado was late getting there. White Cloud will keep it into the offensive zone, but it's rim a bit too hard, and Bouchard had McDavid for a breakaway, and the pass uncharacteristically was just a little bit off the mark. The Flames end up spilling this one out of play from center ice, where the puck will be dropped. Bouchard 9 times out of 10 puts that right in McDavid's wheelhouse, and the pass, to my eye, was just a shade behind him.
Yeah, or he was gone.
And if you're Calgary, how do you let Connor David that loose on a potential breakaway? Roslovic back out there with Szymanski and Savoy. He's going to take the face-off at center. 4:13 to play. And now Frost will be chased out, replaced by Huberdeau. 4-3 Calgary. In Lomberg, of all people, the go-ahead goal. 2 of his 4 this year against the Oilers. Huberdeau sends it to the corner. Frost tried to dig it out. Britton, 2 of his 3 against the Oilers this year. Emberson for Edmonton. A dart up the middle. Punch forward by Mangiapane. Here's Roslovic, a centering pass. And Mangiapane couldn't make a play in the slot. Cleared ahead to Huberdeau. Crowded by Wallman. He got it through Mangiapane at the line. Forced down low by Grid. Here's Darnell Nurse up the right-hand side and offside. Mangiapane. Was that a situation? It's interesting how that line ended up developing. Originally it was Szymanski and then Mangiapane in kind of mop-up duty, and now we've got a face-off back in the Edmonton zone, and all of a sudden you're down to 3:31 to play.
They're loading up McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman here.
Well, there's no point not. It's down to the final 3.5 minutes, and you probably want this 5 on the ice for 2 of those 3.5 minutes at a bare minimum. Ekholm, Bouchard, of course, the D pairing. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Backlund wins the faceoff, however, and Calgary has possession. Coronado a shot. That was tipped wide. Rebound, White Cloud. Sharon Govich behind the net, Coronado. Bouchard won the battle. Draisaitl shoveled it ahead for McDavid. And now Ball entrusted with tying up McDavid. Bouchard in across the line. Here's McDavid from Bouchard. Draisaitl one-timer, fought off by Cooley. Rebound, McDavid left corner. And he went down. Backlund comes away with a puck. 3-on-2 for the Flames. Backlund to Sharon Govich. Shoots and a kick save. Rebound, Backlund stop. Another rebound off the pads of Jari. Here's Ekholm. Up the gut to McDavid. Thought it was a good no call on the prior shift. Yep. Here's McDavid in across the line. Bouchard right point. Jari is still in the pipe. Centering pass. Ekholm a drive. Save Cooley. Rebound White Cloud. Can't clear. Second time. Third time. Ekholm keeps it in at the line. Heroically. And now it's Kasperi Kapanen left circle. Ekholm, who kept it in the other night in the tying goal against San Jose. McDavid to Draisaitl. Back to McDavid and cleared up the left-hand side. Good touch by Ball. No icing. Bouchard will track it down. Edmonton changes it up with 2:15 to play. Here comes Jake Wollman. Once again, the Oilers in search of the equalizer. Wollman didn't connect with Kapanen, and it's icing against Edmonton with 2:06 remaining. Cooley up to 34 saves.
It's been the difference in the game. He's been the better goalie by a mile. Rip job from Leon. Leon elevated the puck, and Cooley fought it off.
Nurse and Wollman are the D pair. You've got Roslovic, Kapanen, and Podkolzin.
Obviously, Nugent Hopkins.
Morgan Frost wins the face-off, and then Nugent Hopkins will be the extra attacker, is what you were going to say, I believe.
Yeah, once
Wollman up the center. Here's Roslovic, poke checked away, and the Oilers must regroup in the neutral zone. 1 minute, 55 seconds remaining. Flames clear the zone a second time. Kapanen shoots it in. That was tipped by Huberdeau. Right to Weegar. He'll shovel it around the boards. Jari is still in the pipes. What a keep by Wollman this time. But overrunning was Roslovic and Kapanen. So it's cleared by the Flames through the neutral zone. Nurse allows his team to change and Jari to go to the bench. 1 minute, 25 seconds to go. The extra attacker is on. Jerry's on the bench, and here comes Connor McDavid looking to tie it. Gains the line. Draisaitl. Checked by Sharon Govich. Kevin Ball will lob it high in the air. Bounces at center. Settled by Ekholm. 1 minute, 5 seconds remaining. It's Calgary 4, Edmonton 3. The Oilers desperate. McDavid to Draisaitl. Shot. Save. Cooley. And he'll freeze it with 59 seconds to go. And now it's decision time. Does Chris Knobloch, with this line relatively fresh, want to take a timeout? Or does he think another stoppage might be in the offing?
He's just going to go to the whip here. This is a huge face-off for Edmonton.
Backlund against Draisaitl to the right of Devin Cooley.
Oilers have won 58% of the draws in this game.
And that in line with the season statistics for both clubs. Draisaitl against Backlund. 6-on-5. The Oilers down a goal, 4-3. Draisaitl won it cleanly. Ekholm across to Bouchard. He's crowded. He'll put it down low. It's loose in the corner. McDavid against Backlund, who turns and fires it down the ice. This will be an icing call. Bouchard gets back with 45 seconds to go. And now let's see whether the Oilers elect to make a different decision. Paul McFarland is instructing Bouchard to line up.
Draisaitl is 67%. He's 12-6. Backlund, Jack, is 8-9, 47%.
It's going to keep going here. No timeout. Backlund against Draisaitl. 45 seconds. 4-3 Flames. Draisaitl won it cleanly. Ekholm, showing shot. McDavid crowded by Backlund, who punched it but not out. It's Ekholm behind the net. Ball jabbed at it, but Draisaitl settles it down for Bouchard. Another good zone keep. To the middle of the ice. Coronado with a steal. Sharon Govich shoots and misses somehow from inside the red line. He had time and missed the net. Here's McDavid through Sharon Govich and in across the line. Popped loose, and Cooley falls on it as he's hit with 15 seconds to go. And now the Oilers will take a timeout.
McDavid's skate may have clipped Cooley's left hand.
I think it did clip him. He's squeezing it a bit. That puck popped loose by Ball, and then McDavid went down and caught him. Cooley's going to stay in the game. 15 seconds remaining. 4 4-3 Flames face off to Cooley's right-hand side. Nugent Hopkins on the left half boards. Bouchard top of the left circle with Ekholm. McDavid and Hyman in the slot. Flames will go with 3 in the slot and White Cloud on Nugent Hopkins. Here's Backlund and Draisaitl, who's beaten him badly the last 2. And won it again. McDavid lost the handle, and wow. That might be a break for Edmonton.
It was.
I think the Flames are going to clear that puck. Now Draisaitl and Backlund again. 15.4 seconds. And Draisaitl, another clean face-off win. Bouchard tried to center, deflected out to the line, race for the puck. Ekholm up the right-hand side. Here's McDavid on to Draisaitl, 3 seconds. He falls down. Calgary chips it out. The game is over. The Flames have beat the Oilers for the 3rd time in 4 matches this year. And Edmonton drops 3 in a row in regulation for the first time since October heading into the break. Oilers dropped to 28, 22, and 8. Vegas at last report was winning and could then theoretically take over sole possession of first place in the Pacific. And the Calgary Flames, who we told you have been a good home team throughout the year, improved to 15, 10, and 4. They win both games at the Saddle Dome by 1 goal against Edmonton this year after losing 7 straight in this building, dating back to their 2022 playoff series. And for the Oilers, Bob, as we go into break, you got to start looking at their record in 1-goal games, which used to be a strength. But this year, the Oilers have dropped 16 of 26 1-goal games. They're in a world of hurt with 3 consecutive defeats. Obviously, there's still 24 games left, but not the way you wanted to go into the break.
Well, they've had back-to-back games where the other team had way better special teams and better goaltending. I'm not going to...
You would say better special teams tonight?
Yeah, well, Calgary...
I thought better 5-on-5 play for Calgary.
Calgary was 2 of 3 on the power play. Edmonton was 2 of 4. Right? Calgary got the 2 even strength goals. Edmonton
you think if you're saying that Edmonton's been great on the power play all year long, but the problem is the kill now is 10 goals in the last 6 games.
They've lost the special teams battle and the goaltending battle in all 3 games here. You take a look at the loss against Minnesota. Oilers got 42 shots on goal. Last night against Toronto, the Oilers ended up having 36 shots on goal. Tonight they finished with 39 shots on goal. Jack, right now, the Oilers are losing the way they did under Jay Woodcroft at the start of the 23-24 season. They weren't getting any saves on the penalty kill. They were out shooting teams. They were out playing them territorially 5v5.
And yet they were 2-9-1.
They were 2-9-1, right? And so this is... I think there needs to be some real evaluation as to what's happening here. This is not acceptable. Not with the level of expectation of this team. Now, I will say this. I think there's some players around the league that wanted to get ready for the Olympics, okay? I don't think you can argue. Leon Draisaitl had 2 goals tonight. Leon was, Leon was dominant in this hockey game. But Cooley won the game for them. It's that simple. He was the better...
36
saves.
And Edmonton outshot Calgary 29-15 over the last 2 periods. And yet, as we talked about with respect to the way that 4th line had an impact on the game back in December, Lomberg scores again. And this time it's a game winner.
They come in here every game and play soft. And then you turn around and healthy scratch the guy that's supposed to provide some physicality. And then your 4th line's the line that gets dotted up for the go-ahead goal in 3rd period at 4-3. Right? The line of Mangiapane, minus 21, along with Lazar and Janmark. Again, there needs to be a forensic look at this hockey team. You've got some time, and you got to go back to school, and it's going to be, I'm not sure when they're going to get McDavid or Draisaitl back. I'm going to tell you right now, because Adam Henrique's going to be ready after the Olympic break. I know Szymanski's played well, but Pickard and Szymanski will be going down in order for the Oilers to be cap compliant, and they're probably going to have to they're going to have to make another move. I don't know what that move is. but they're just getting caved in the bottom 6 in terms of the goal share the entire season long. And again,
you put so much strain on McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard that when they don't have big games, it feels like you're in desperate trouble. And tonight, Bouchard, you had Draisaitl with 2 goals, Bouchard 3 assists.
And McDavid had an assist and set up a bunch of other looks. And so they were out shooting teams badly and losing games in the final.
But that's what I mean. I mean, it's 4-3. And think of what if they did what they did last night? I mean, is it 4-0? What I'm driving at is even in the losses, it seems like, Edmonton's getting the only threat they have is when those 3 players are on the ice together.
It's incredibly disappointing. And they had speed in the lineup a couple of years ago, let a couple of those guys go. I think and then they had character and some guts and part of the team in Connor Brown and Corey Perry, right? Specifically Corey Perry, because he brought them some gamesmanship. They made some decisions here. Okay, they got to get. You know what? I'm blanking serious about this. They got to play Trent Frederick coming back in the top 9. He's got to skate his off. And he was starting to move better. They need to play him in the top 9 right away when we come back. McDavid, I'm concerned about Connor and Leon coming back from the Olympics. We saw Connor come back from the 4 Nations.
Just a drop-off, an emotional engagement?
Yes, 100%. Because the Oilers got a hell of a lot of work here to do to secure a playoff spot. They're taking on water again. It's very disappointing.
All right, Edmonton, a 3rd consecutive loss. Again, that had not happened in regulation since October. I mean, there had been so much criticism of the Oilers and their lack of a 3-game winning streak. Well, what happens when they get one? It's followed by a 3-game losing streak, which kind of negates the impact, obviously. And so Edmonton stumbles into the break with 3 consecutive defeats and a 28-22-8 record. And the Flames, who are a team that, is going to finish probably in the bottom 5 or bottom 6 of the league this year. Well, in the head-to-head matchups this year in the Battle of Alberta, Calgary is going to claim 6 points, and Edmonton will end up with just 3 as they finish 1-2-1 against their provincial rival. Excuse me.
That was quite the combination.
That was. Holy cow.
That's usually me doing stuff like that.
No, clearly I need the break as well. But the bottom line is Edmonton drops a 4-3 decision tonight to Calgary. Ryan Lomberg with a game-winning goal. Leon Draisaitl, a pair of power play goals. Kasperi Kapanen scored the only even-strength goal for the Oilers. It'll be interesting to see how he's deployed moving forward as he starts to round into form. 5 goals in the 19 games he's played, and Edmonton certainly needs his speed and jam in the top 9 as well. For Tristan Jarry, a hard-luck loss. He stops 21 of 25, and the winning goal.
Not good enough from him, Jack.
Gets past him through Ryan Lomberg, a puck that was booted by Lomberg into the pads of Jarry, who reflexively kicked it right back to him. Lomberg finishes 2 of his 4 goals this year for the Flames against the Oilers, 2 of Gridden's 3 goals this year in his first year in the NHL against the Oilers, and it all adds up to a Calgary win. The Flames are now 23-27-6 overall, and as we talked about, Edmonton 28-22-8, and all of a sudden, those 3 games after the break against the 3 teams that are pursuing Edmonton in the Pacific Division, Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. You've got 2 new challengers and an old rival. And that is looming as a massive 3 games in 4 night stretch coming out of the break.
Seattle, too. Like in terms of 4 teams jammed right in there.
I'm just saying the first 3 games out of the break.
Massive. And Anaheim, they're scary. They're coming in a hurry here. They're beating everybody. Vegas is going to get a win tonight, but they're playing Vancouver. They're the worst team in the league. Vegas are only 2-8 in their last 10 games here. Edmonton, I'm telling you this right now. I know they're going to be 2 points out of first after tonight. They got nothing home and cooled. They got to get to work here and start winning some damn games.
So Edmonton loses 4-3 tonight. It's 34 goals against now in the last 7 games, and a loss inside the division. Now 8-3-3, the Oilers against their Pacific Division rivals this year. And for Bob and I, now a 3-week break. Enjoy the Olympics. It should be a fantastic matchup. I've gone on record as saying that I expect Germany to be an interloper among the Final Four. I know you've got Team Canada winning gold. Do you have a dark horse that you'd like to go on record?
I think Canada's going to be really challenged to beat the United States. The United States has a better puck-moving defense. Canada went with too passive an approach. They brought back their same D from last year. I was in Montreal. Canada got outplayed by the United States in the game in Montreal. And frankly, if not for a brilliant goaltending performance from Jordan Binnington, who hasn't been near that level. So I'm actually thinking the U.S. is going to win the gold medal in the Olympics.
So you have U.S. over Canada in the gold medal game.
That's what I got.
And then do you have a dark horse, or you think it's going to play to form?
You know what? Sweden.
That's not a dark horse.
No. Germany is, I'm going to say this right now, Germany is going to be putting more money into hockey. They are going to be a rising power in international hockey here shortly.
All right, there you have it. Final score tonight from the Saddle Dome, the Calgary Flames 4, the Edmonton Oilers 3. Cam and Bob will be back with you for those 3 large games inside the division out in California when we're back from break. That's 3 weeks' time. The next game is February the 25th, and it will be from Orange County against the Ducks. Until then, for Bob Stauffer and, of course, Brendan Escott and Rob Brown, I'm Jack Michaels saying good night from the Saddle Dome. The final score, the Flames 4, the Edmonton Oilers 3. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers looking to avoid a 3rd straight loss heading into the break. They haven't lost 3 in a row since October. Kapanen a shot up top, and then ends up in the back of the net. Went through Devin Cooley and Kasperi Kapanen. A high riser that ends up trickling home.
All right, that tied the game at 3, but then Ryan Longberg got the Oilers again, just like he did back here on December the 27th. And that was the highlight zone for Century Casino. All in, all games, all season. Century Casino, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winter Zone. This is the Rogers postgame show from the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses, with customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
No Alberta Blue Cross travel insurance goal game. Whatever life brings, we got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. So no Alberta Blue Cross, the insurance goal of the game, the smart play of the game, brought to you by Catelli's Smart Pasta. All natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the all natural ingredients flag on the box the next time you shop. We'll give that to Kasperi Kapanen. Opportunistic, yes, but also willing to shoot the puck. Scores for the 2nd consecutive game. And right now he's about the only depth player that's consistently him and put Coles in. At least you're getting some sort of steady play from there. Rob, we've only got a couple minutes because I got to catch the bus. Your thoughts on tonight?
Well, first, I wouldn't call Colson and Kapanen depth players because they're playing with Connor and Liam.
It's a fair comment.
So, yeah, I mean, when Savoy and Roslovic are up there, they're producing as well. So, no, it was a night where the Oilers had enough chances to win a hockey game.
Yeah.
But the exact same thing that we keep seeing is they needed 5 goals to win. And you're going to run into a goalie like Cooley, who played fantastic in this hockey game. The Flames had the better goaltending. But the Oilers can't continue to give up these. I mean, they're not playing quiet games, the Oilers. They're good enough to score goals. They don't have to cheat. They don't have to force things. They don't have to pinch when they are. Too many 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, breakaways. They had a 2-on-0 in this game. And that's not a recipe for successful hockey. This was a Calgary Flame team that can't score, and they scored 4 tonight. So the Oilers played well enough in spurts to win, but they made enough big mistakes to lose. And you talked about it with Jack. Your penalty killing is killing you right now.
It's an unmitigated disaster.
It's not going well.
And now we have a weird scenario where Connor and Leon are going over the Olympics. Look, Szymanski got a 5-game look for one, but Henrique's coming back. He's got to be activated. So when that happens, both Pickard and Szymanski are going to go down. They're still going to need to make another smaller move. Could be Regula at that point, or maybe a forward.
Probably a forward, because I don't know if they can afford to lose a defenseman.
Well, the problem with Manjikpani is the overage that would be charged.
Yeah.
Cap rules, right? But they got to get Frederick back in there. And they're in the fourth line, like that Calgary fourth line's been around for 2 games in this building, and they got the game-winning goal. I did not like Jerry tonight. He has to find his game. It's how weird is it going to be that they're going to do a little bit of a boot camp and they don't have their 2 best players there?
True, but all the teams in the National Hockey League are going through the same thing, and the Oilers actually have fewer players than most teams. The thing is, with their boot camp, I don't think you have to worry about Connor or Leon or what you're going to be teaching, because right now everything you're going to be talking about in this boot camp is going to be on the defensive side of things. This Oiler team has just the miscues are too big. And it's from everybody, so they need a reset. As you and Jack were just alluding to, the Oilers have lost 3 straight, and they're coming out of the break with 3 tough games on the road with teams chasing them. So they need to come out and play well. They can't wade into the second or whatever it is, the post-Olympic break like they have. And we've seen that too many times over the last couple of years with these breaks. So they can't afford to. They need a good boot camp. They need a reset. And they got to play with more desperation.
Yeah, 100%. Rob, I got to run.
Sounds good,
man. Yep, this is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Unbelievable! Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton knows great teams. For over 60 years, Chemco has helped build Canadian industry and invest in communities nationwide. Employee-owned and operated, and with over 2,500 skilled tradespeople, Chemco delivers complete solutions as one partner with many strengths. From engineering to construction, commissioning to maintenance, safely and on schedule coast to coast. Chemco cares, and a commitment to quality, safety, and community drives lasting impact nationally and locally. Learn more at chemco.com. Chemco, building industry, building Canada.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 Chad, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Out-of-town scoreboard, Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The Edmonton Oil Kings 4-2 winners in Minnesota tonight. They host Moose Jaw Friday at Rogers Place. Bakersfield Condors won 3-2 in overtime last night over Calgary. They got a home-and-home with Ontario this week. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on February 25th at Muggins. For the full events schedule and to RSVP to the ultimate Oilers watch party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
Zach from Epcor here. When winter rolls in, my family's outside skating, tobogganing, and enjoying the season. But stormwater ponds aren't the place. These ponds protect our neighborhoods from flooding year-round. Even in winter, the water keeps moving under the surface, making the ice unpredictable and unsafe. Edmonton has safe spots to skate and sled, like my favorite, the Rundle Park Iceway and Toboggan Hills. Stay back, stay off, stay safe. A note from your neighbors at Epcor.
Molson Cup 3 stars for Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Must be of legal drinking age. 2 assists, Mackenzie Weegar, 3rd star. 2 goals, Leon Draisaitl, 2nd star. 36 saves, Devin Cooley, 1st star. Rogers postgame show heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. The Edmonton Oilers return to action against the Anaheim Ducks, and that will take place on Wednesday, February 25th. For my play-by-play partners this year, Jack Michaels along with Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott, Aidan Gannam, studio producers, Kellen Kennedy, Helm tonight, and Eamon Hashem, and our longtime engineer here in Calgary, John Bruns, Bob Stauffer, saying so long, everybody, from the Saddle Dome. The Oilers need a break, and they need to get it right when they come back.
Rogers post-game show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this
as Edmonton working on their penalty kill. Kadri leads the Flames in. Gridden drops for Weegar. Swings over. Huberdeau shot. Scores! Jonathan Huberdeau opens it up in the Battle of Alberta.
Far side for his 10th on the season. This is a save I believe Jari should make.
Down to the far side, Hyman tried to pass it to Draisaitl, blocked by the stick of ball. Nugent Hopkins retrieves. Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins now. Draisaitl flips it in, he scores! Just room for a puck to go, and Draisaitl hit that spot.
Elevate that, just beautiful to watch. What a great set of hands. Watch how he's going to open up the blade right there and just scoop that up and right over the right shoulder. Oh my gosh, was he a beast.
Battle for that puck off the face-off. Flames angle it out. Zary, great play. Sprinting Fairby, deep shoot, stopped by Jari. Last second save from Jari.
No, Evan Bouchard can be a little bit casual here. This one just bounces through his legs, gives Fairby a great opportunity.
Bouchard slaps it off the glass and out.
It is funny how it gets in your head, though. Like, penalty kill, you can do a lot of good things, and all of a sudden one pass springs somebody.
Like this, Gridden behind it, he shoots, scores! Matvei Gridden, power play goal off a laser beam shot.
Can do a lot of good things, and then you get one good play. Weegar with the stretch pass in behind Roman, and Gridden goes high short side. I don't think Jari's going to like that one either. I mean, 2 decent shots, but this is better than the Huberdeau chance. I didn't think that was grade A. This is a grade A chance. And Gridden, who's really come on, I don't think he's going to be spending any more.
Kuznetsov, Flames trying to attack. Kadri, top of the circle, one-timer, Whitecloud scores! That was tipped in, and Zary has got the Flames ahead by 2.
Re-attack. They wouldn't allow a line change. Beautiful play here, nice setup. Watch Whitecloud get open right there. There's a lane, and Zary does a wonderful job getting his stick on that. You can see the exhausted Stastny and Nurse couldn't get in there and couldn't block out Zary. What a great shift or two by the Flames. Take advantage when...
On to Draisaitl. Banks it back. Nearly came out against Bouchard, who saved. On to Nugent-Hopkins down low. McDavid swings to Bouchard. Hit shot off the side. Draisaitl scores. Leon Draisaitl, second power play goal of the game. And the Oilers within one.
With that sharp shot from that angle. That is just ridiculous.
Stretch pass finds Bouchard. Moving in. And a rising shot. Cooley! Did that trickle in? It did. Kapanen with a strange one to tie it up for Edmonton.
And rolled in behind him. I don't think it even hits his pad. Oh, it does on his pad.
That's not to turn it over. Lomberg hustling in. His shot rising and nearly fooled. Jarry, it appeared. Kadri bouncing puck. Kicked out again. Right pass in. Lomberg scores! Calgary gets the lead back from Ryan Lomberg.
That rebound, he punches it back into the slot, and it comes right to Lomberg, and he buries it.
Draisaitl falls down, puck comes free, and the Calgary Flames will take the season series in the Battle of Alberta. 4-3 the final. Stretch pass finds Bouchard. Moving in. And a rising shot. Cooley! Did that trickle in? It did. Kapanen with a strange one to tie it up for Edmonton.
Up in his equipment. Beautiful pass by Ekholm. Bouchard. He's going to spot Podkolzin. He just sets it back to Kapanen. Oh, yeah, for sure. Cooley kind of made the original save. It didn't look like it was deflected along the way, and it just bounced onto the ice and then rolled in behind him. I don't think it even hits his pad. Oh, it does on his pad. Okay, I missed that. I thought it hit the ice and just had...
On to Draisaitl. Banks it back. Nearly came out against Bouchard, who saved. On to Nugent-Hopkins down low. McDavid swings to Bouchard. Hit shot off the side. Draisaitl scores. Leon Draisaitl, second power play goal of the game. And the Oilers within one.
Scores this. It's a mystery to me. Bouchard's going to spot Draisaitl down low by the goal line. And watch where he is. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Well, this is where Sharangovich is going to go down. He tries to hit Draisaitl. Draisaitl with the reverse hit. And Draisaitl gets back up into the play, and we've seen this over and over again. I don't think there's anybody better in the history of the game with that sharp shot from that angle. That is just ridiculous. Oh my gosh, was he a beast.
Battle for that puck off the face-off. Flames angle it out. Zary, great play. Sprinting Fairby, deep shoot, stopped by Jarry. Last second save from Jarry.
No, Evan Bouchard can be a little bit casual here. This one just bounces through his legs, gives Fairby a great opportunity.
Now to the far side, Hyman tried to pass it to Draisaitl, blocked by the stick of Ball. Nugent-Hopkins retrieves. Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins now. Draisaitl flips it in, he scores! Just room for a puck to go, and Draisaitl hit that spot.
Draisaitl. Only 7 seconds left on the penalty Hanley, and the Oilers continue to attack. Watch this. Draisaitl is going to come to the right of Cooley and just ever so softly just elevate that. Just beautiful to watch. What a great set of hands. Watch how he's going to open up the blade right there and just scoop that up and right over the right shoulder of Devin Cooley. That is so fun to watch. Set of hands like that.
Chris, just confirming it will be Jari tonight.
Jari's our goalie tonight.
All right, when it comes to your guys' team game against the Calgary Flames, they've won 2 of the 3. You guys wrap up the season series tonight. Why is it that they seemingly give you guys a little bit of a handful every time you meet?
They play hard. They keep their game really simple.